Hello and welcome to Nintendo Podcast System, episode 56. I'm myself, as always, thankfully, Matthew Gibson. And joining me is my good co-host, Jack Gorn.
I'm myself. That did make me laugh quite a lot. Hello, myself.
It's not untrue.
It is the truth. You are yourself. Myself.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? It's been a while.
It's all good.
It's all good in the hood.
Yeah, well, I think our last episode published together was 12th of July. I think that's when it got put up on YouTube.
That was like a while ago, yeah.
A fair while ago.
Apologies for missing the last episode, but it sounded a lot better without me on it. So...
No. Don't say that.
It was a good episode.
I know.
It was a really good talk, actually. I liked to hold the talk about the whole issues with people plagiarising people's work. That was really interesting. So if you missed it, go listen to that episode.
It's quite the hot topic. I think it's like our second most popular episode on YouTube. I think it's just under 200 views.
So go subscribe on YouTube now, please. So
yeah, like just under 200 views. Whereas like
just as we mentioned YouTube, actually, some people might notice recently I've been taking some of the episodes down from Podomatic and Apple iTunes. Basically, we hit our storage limit on there. So I've been slowly taking like the older episodes off and just putting new ones on. But if you want to listen to any of the older episodes, they're all going to still be available on YouTube. So you can be able to go back and listen to any of them anytime you want.
I guess if we could get more storage, then they'll come back on, maybe?
Yeah, but that costs a lot a month. So we're looking. I'll look at other ways of doing it, but because it's so easy to put it where it is at the moment, it's so easy to put stuff everywhere in terms of putting it onto new systems and stuff. It's all linked already, and not have to worry about it. So whereas if we put it into our new website, it could be a bit of a nightmare and stuff like that. So meh. Anyway, that's too technical. But let's talk about Nintendo stuff. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. God damn it!
Well,
boom.
Before we go into Nintendo stuff, Jack, what is our opening tune for this episode?
Let me just scroll down because I can't remember what I said. Oh yeah, the intro music is WarioWare Gold's intro music. So enjoy that. Yay.
Okay, so with that intro out of the way, there's nothing else that we have to mention, I believe, so let's head on into our next section. So this is the news section right now. We've got I guess kind of a fair amount. I don't know. Let's start.
There's a lot.
Let's start with just a couple of big titles that are finally getting ported over the Switch. Diablo 3 something edition. I'm not too sure. Which was rumored about a while ago because I think the official account put out a video of them turning on and off a light. So flicking the Switch. It's just, he's getting a Switch port. Nothing happened until around Gamescom, and they lifted the lid up. Diablo 3 on the Switch is a thing, which thankfully has opened the door for Overwatch to potentially come to the Switch because it's Blizzard. They've now said it's feasible. I don't think it will be coming anytime soon, but that's still quite
would be
exciting.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
The fact they've got like Paladins on there already, that might be a good like competition if they can get it on there. So I can see why they'd want to. So definitely.
And then you got Saints Row the Third coming out, as well as the A Hat in Time, which was quite a very well received indie title last year.
Looking forward to that, definitely. Yeah.
Especially because they originally said that they couldn't get it on Switch, but then now they are, which is quite nice indeed.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
That threw you off then, didn't it?
Yeah. Yes. So those are a couple of titles. But of course,
there's a lot of big games coming pretty soon, and the Diablo having Ganondorf as a skin in it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I did hear rumours that there was supposed to be a Link skin originally, and there was some sort of problem with it or something.
I think so. I think that may have gone, like, I think a picture of that was retained on the embargo, so I don't know if that's something that they shouldn't have shown off yet, or if
Yeah,
it's just
maybe
something
that's
that
something to
wasn't meant
come.
to be there in the first place.
Maybe it's something still to come. I don't know, but
Who
Ganondorf
knows?
looks pretty cool. He does seem to fit in really well, which is
Right.
really weird.
I
So
haven't really seen much of it, to be honest.
yeah, yeah,
But
it does
yeah,
it does look pretty cool.
good good things all around. Next one up, really quickly, because I really want to mention this. Um, Long-time fans of the show would know of my deep appreciation for the Inazuma 11 franchise. Whenever there's a direct, I'm always pulling for a
Danganronpa.
no. Well, that too, which I think that will happen eventually.
I
No,
thought I'd
I don't
mention it
know.
before you do.
Okay, you got me there. You got me good. Um, no, but whenever a direct comes up or anything, I'd always I gave up on it in like the past year because the 3DS was on its way out. But before then, I was always pulling for an EU localization of Inazuma 11 Go Galaxy, which is the last mainline game in the series
Yeah.
before Inazuma 11 R's has come along. Which I'm happy is coming over here next year, by the way. Because originally it would take like about 3 years to come over here, but now it's only taking like less than a year, which is really cool that they're taking
Pretty
it
cool.
seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely moving a lot more quicker now with those ports from like relocalizations and things like that.
Mm.
So that's cool.
Yeah. So I am happy they are giving Inazuma 11 more of a chance, but so back to Inazuma 11 Go Galaxy. The
Okay.
reason why it took so long, or like hasn't even happened in the first place, is I believe is something to do with trademark issues with some other company in Europe, so they couldn't
Right.
like
Okay.
release it. But now that's been solved completely, so they've now assured the trademark for the game in EU. So an actual release of the game may be coming out.
Was that like
Maybe.
one specific country? Do you know, or was it just
I'm not
somewhere in
sure.
Europe in
I think
general?
it could be one specific country. I'm not
I've
too
heard of
sure.
that happening before with something in Germany. There was I can't think what game it was, but
Star
there've been issues
Fox?
before. Star Fox, you're right,
Yeah.
absolutely, of course it is, yeah, because they had problems with copyright for something in the game. They couldn't for some reason they didn't release it there at first, did
And
they,
they
or
did
something
call
like
it
that? So
Lilac Wars.
yeah, that's why Lilac Wars ended up coming instead.
Mm.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah. So hopefully it does mean that it is coming, even though it is like right at the end of 3DS's life effectively. It's still nice
Hmm.
to see. So I hope it does come eventually, before
I'm
ours comes out.
I'm definitely like curious what it is that caused that copyright issue though. I think
Hmm.
that's really strange.
That's. You know what? I don't want to drag on it too long.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
move on, shall we? We've got
But
lots to talk about
the
in the
important
news
thing
here, haven't we?
they've got it now, so it could be coming. Very exciting stuff. Um,
Japanese release only.
it's already been released in Japan for like almost 5 years.
Is it on Switch or is it on
Nah,
like just 3DS?
3DS.
Right, cool.
The Switch didn't
Is it?
even exist when it came out.
No, I was just saying, but like if it does get released in Japan on the Switch, you could always just like make a
Oh yeah,
Japanese account and download it. So that'd be
I
cool.
doubt it would because like even with the new Inazuma game, that's not coming to 3DS. It's just Switch and PS4.
Right, cool.
But yeah, moving on.
Nice.
More mobile news. Nintendo have unveiled more about the new IP exclusive for mobile devices, Dragalia Lost. Did you see any of this?
I've not seen anything of this. I completely missed it all. You'll have to explain it to me, Matt. I have no idea.
It looks alright. It's to be honest, I don't think it's gonna be anything too special.
Right.
Like if you've seen like a lot of like anime RPG sort of games for mobile devices, you kind of getting the same thing here, to be honest.
So is that like Final Fantasy like RPG or is like
No, it's just like so you got pies and stuff like that, but it's mostly tap based. So you walk around a dungeon or area or something like that,
yeah?
and you tap the enemies to fight them, putting off combos and
Oh,
stuff like that.
so literally just touching screen
Mm.
to. Oh, okay, different.
So that's the main gameplay of it, but there is a story there as well. But I do quite like the art style. To be fair, the art style is quite nice.
Okay.
The characters really pop, I think.
There
And
was a
they've
whole
all,
direct for this game, wasn't there, as
yeah.
well? Yeah.
And they've all got like the different attributes. Like it depends on the weapon, depends on the element, and depends on the role they have. It's a really different thing.
Okay.
A whole different shebang. So one person can be archer, have the wind element, and then could be a
So
support character or something.
co-developed by Psy Games. What have they made previously?
I'm
Do
not
we know?
too sure. Probably similar stuff to this. Because when I
Okay.
see it, I just see the stuff like, oh, this is just like you could put like it with any other generic RPG, and it may still be noticeable of the change, but probably not by too much.
They've worked on some Dragon Quest games
Right,
previously, but it all looks like mobile games they've
yeah.
previously worked on, same sort of genres and things. So
But still, even saying that, I am happy that it does exist because it shows that they are taking this mobile thing quite seriously.
ah.
Um,
Interesting one just to mention. They did work on Zone of the Enders on PS4.
okay,
So the same company that made that. I don't know if that was the port or the actual main game, but yeah,
right.
yeah, there you go. There's something related.
I think, well, it's also, I think they saw the success of Fire Emblem Heroes, which, by the way,
Yes.
is the best grossing Nintendo mobile game. Not Super Mario Run or Animal Crossing. Probably not including Pokemon Go because that's not a Nintendo mobile
Are
game.
you still playing the Fire Emblem game
Oh
on
yeah.
mobile? Yeah.
Um, why not? Still grinding to get all the heroes I want, trying to get all the summoning pool activate, and then not getting, despite having an 10% chance of getting a 5-star hero.
Yeah.
I
I
finally,
mean,
I finally get a 5-star, and it's not the 5-star hero that was advertised for. It's one that I already have.
rubbish.
Sad times, but it's all
I
luck of
mean,
the game.
I am only the only like game I have on my mobile is Pokemon Go.
Right.
So, but I am getting a phone upgrade from next weekend. So hopefully I'll be able to fit a few more games on there.
Hmm.
So that'd be interesting. But yeah, okay. It's nice to see them at least still trying to venture into this mobile market. It's been a bit of a strange sort of situation, I think, for them. Really, I think like there's been a lot of the first release of like the Mario Run did well, and then it just sort of died off really
Well,
quickly.
actually, that was Miitomo. Miitomo
Me too, of course. Yeah,
was
before
their
that, yeah, you're
first
right. Yeah,
completely free one, and then I
yeah,
saw the like Mario one just went kind of down the drain. So it was like, oh damn,
yeah.
we've got
And
to make Fire
Animal
Emblem Hero.
Crossing, they didn't really do what everyone wanted with it. It was
Nah,
very sort of still locked in areas. Like you didn't have much exploration with it. I think
yeah,
is the
and it's
problem.
more
But,
like I feel like with Fire Emblem Heroes, it's like you do have to have the orbs. The orbs are most valuable in the game to get the heroes that you want.
hmm.
And they are quite pricey. I will admit that they are very overpriced for what they are. Like just getting 3 orbs is like 250, and even then, that's not even enough to at least start a summoning session.
I,
So
I
it's
don't
literally spending
think
like
it's.
250
Sorry, mate.
just
Sorry, mate.
just to get 3 orbs, and if you
Yeah.
but that's not enough to just get a summon by itself. You still need
Mm,
more orbs. Um, but the game is generous enough with getting you free items like
mm,
orbs, stuff like that. So I don't really think it's fine. But I think with Animal Crossing, apparently it's more blatantly trying to
yeah.
get you to spend money. You know.
Well, that doing Tom Nook again, isn't it? He's always trying to make us spend money.
Tom Nook's a
God
good
damn it.
man, alright? Everyone gives him
Yeah.
shit, but all he's trying to do is support his
Every
two
game he
nephews.
makes you buy something you don't really want to
Because you got
buy.
the
So
house for free in the first place.
yeah, there's always like little small printers everywhere for his like sales. So
Exactly. Oh well.
anyway, so this new game, like, are you
Yeah.
going to be getting it straight away when it
Um.
first comes out?
Yeah. I'll definitely try it out. I think because it's co-op as well, so you can play up to 3 other friends, which is
Is it
nice.
what? Is it free to play, or do you have to purchase
Yeah,
it
it's
straight
free to play.
away?
So this is what I was saying about it. Getting inspired a bit by Fire Emblem Heroes is because you've also got um, heroes ranked by stars. So you got three
Hmm.
stars, you got 4 stars, and you got 5 stars. So that's gonna be fun again.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the mobile market, a lot of the free-to-play games seem to perform well for longer because it's just the fact that you can keep playing and playing, and you
Exactly.
might make it's like I might make a little purchase every now and then rather than pay this one figure
Mm.
at the start and then never play it ever again. I think if they're looking for more long term, I think the free to play market is definitely the one they've got to go into.
I
But
think.
yeah, go on, man.
Oh no, I was gonna let you go.
But yeah, it's good that they're still venturing into the mobile market, and
Mm.
it's not necessarily their first party franchise that they're using. Maybe they're trying something different.
Yeah.
First, they're trying to get a few more other games on there, but maybe they could, if it does well on the mobile, maybe they'll consider releasing games for it further down the line on other consoles, like the Switch, for example. But
Mm.
it's a good way to sort of test the market and see how it goes. I think with games like that.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks interesting enough. It looks like it can still be quite fun. Um.
I mean, I'm not too sure about the whole tapping, like
Mm.
if it's
It
constant
may
tapping.
get boring, but like I think the direct did go over some stuff that like do spice it up a bit more. So
Yeah,
definitely check
there's
that out
like
if you are like remotely interested in mobile gaming.
it
Um,
looks quite impressive for a mobile game
yeah.
now. I must admit, from looking at the direct trailer I've got here,
Mm,
it does look very intensive. So yeah, it's one to look out for.
yeah. Moving on. Shovel Knight news. All of
Yay!
our favorite indie game. Well, it's probably my favorite indie game to be honest. Um, s-
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
mm. So we finally have more news. Shovel Knight Showdown, which is the promised multiplayer battle mode,
Mhm.
is coming out. It features 16 playable characters, including previously playable characters like Plague Knight and Spectre Knight, as well as people you've never been able to play as before, like the Enchantress and Shield Knight, Pona Knight, all sorts.
That
Um,
sounds interesting.
and there's a story mode in it as well, and it can be bought separately as well, separate from the treasure trove. But will
Right.
be completely free for owners of the game already.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
we got another look at Shovel Knight King of Cards, which again can be bought separately. It's apparently going to be the biggest campaign yet,
Right.
for the final campaign. And the free amiibo I finally got a release date, and Treasure Trove is getting a physical release for the Switch as well. All of
I
this,
might hold out then for the physical release because I haven't actually bought it on the
mm,
Switch yet 'cause I had
all
it
of
on the Wii
this
U already.
is releasing on the 9th of April next year.
Next year? Oh
Yeah.
man, that's
What
so
do you
far
think it
away.
was going to be this year?
I was
This year
thinking
in
like
April.
it must be like October,
Yeah.
November,
I,
surely.
I was. The thing is, right, so content itself. Let's go into content itself for a
Yeah, let's
second.
do that first. Good idea.
Um, well, actually, the only truly new thing is the Shovel Knight Showdown because we've already seen King of Cards before,
Hmm.
and I don't think we've went into the free amiibo. I don't think they've gone into it either.
I think we mentioned it a few times in
Yeah.
previous podcasts, but yeah, we've
Um,
not really seen much of it, have we? To be honest.
like we've known King of the Cards has been a thing for a fair while. We just haven't really seen much. Um, but yeah, Shovel Knight Showdown has been completely new in these past couple of days. As I said, you can play a variety of characters. So you got the 8 Knights of No Order, you got the Enchantress, and you got Black
Yeah.
Knight, and you got Shovel Knight, and you got Shield Knight. Then I think you could play as like 4 enemy characters. So I think one I saw just playing as a generic Gold Knight or something,
Right. Okay.
with like a sword and a spear and stuff. So you could play as him as well. But the main gameplay mode, I think IGN released was gathering gems. So you have to
Okay.
collect a certain amount of gems, which spawn randomly around the stage. So like collect 5 gems to win. So you need to do that. And of course you have the health. If you attack people, they lose their health. and you could get items and stuff as well. So it's like a brawler party fighter, I guess.
Yeah, okay, I get what you mean. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which seems quite fun, but there's also there will apparently be a story mode. And they'll each have their own campaign, so like each character will have their own like rivals to fight and one final encounter.
So it's basically like a fighting game like style. You got a final nemesis kind of guy at the end. So
I think so at least. I think that's the gist of it.
It's like Shovel Knight Smash Bros. Basically.
Kinda, yeah.
The way it's sort of displayed.
I was expecting something more of like just a mode, but this seems to be like its whole campaign in similar vein to like King of Cards and stuff. Not as grand,
so
but
cool.
like
yeah.
It just looks really clean. So more than just a mode, which is what they promised, I believe.
The character models look like they've had a bit of a few changes as well and refresher, so that's pretty cool. That looks actually quite a good fun game. In terms of multiplayer, that could be really fun.
Yeah. No, like this is the thing about it releasing like 9th of April. I think it's only just to accommodate the physical release.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. You know, we don't know. I think that was a theory I've seen floating around, but it's like, you know, when King of Cards launches, that's like a whole 2 years after Spectre of Torment launched, which is like just last year when the Switch came out. So it's like in comparing the times, I feel like it's just been like much longer wait because
I think in that time, I think Shovel Knight's had about 50, 100 million like guest appearances on other games as well.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. So yeah, like I'm fine with waiting. I just thought like we'd be getting it sooner.
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating because if it was sooner, I think I'd definitely be like interested in getting it physical. But that kind of puts me off the fact that you have to wait for that long. Or maybe I might just pick up a digital copy then. But
well, like,
I don't know.
It's like I don't know if you're waiting for physical and like want to get the King of Cards as well as soon as possible. And yeah, I'd say wait for the physical edition if you're really desperate.
How much is a full package? Does that all cost then?
I don't know. I think I saw it was like the treasure trove is like $20 to $25, and then like the physical release would be $15 more.
So we're talking about $40, $50 really, aren't we? In theory,
which to be fair, even if it was like 40 was for the digital version, I think that's still fine. You know,
it's still absolutely fair.
If it launched with all the content right now, with all those 4 campaigns and the battle mode and everything else, I would say that's worth 40 quid.
Yeah, definitely. I would
put
agree.
That as much price as like a normal AAA game, maybe.
We got so much content out of this game; it's unbelievable now. Though it's fantastic, really. How well Shovel Knight's done.
Yeah, in comparison to like stuff like Ukulele and well, more importantly, Mighty Number 9. You know, they've actually kept their promise despite actually raising less. You know.
Of course, yeah.
But I am interested to see what they're doing next. You know, I do want something else other than Shovel Knight. I want to see what else they could do.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, still, you know, it's pretty cool. Shovel Knight news. From one indie to many more.
Many more.
Many more. There's a lot of Nindies, whatever you want to call them, that have been talked about, publicised, all that jazz in the past couple of weeks.
Jazz.
We've actually got 2 presentations dedicated to Nindies. One was on the UK channel to promote games coming to Gamescom, and the other was more of a general one and was to go over stuff I think was coming in PAX West.
Yeah.
Overall, though, because you haven't seen them, I think you've been playing on the.
No, I've been trying to sort of catch up on bits and pieces in the background while we start talking from here. So hopefully I'll be able to try and cover as much as I can with you, Matt. So
Yeah.
there's a couple of games I know of in that list that I've played before, but other than that, a lot of them look like new games completely, which is
Yeah.
pretty good to see.
I'll be mentioning, like, calling out all the indie titles covered in both presentations. So none that have been covered outside. As well as talking about the release date quickly as well.
Hmm.
So starting off with the UK presentation. Started off with Nightcall. It's coming early 2019. I believe this sort of like LA Noir type of deal. You're a cab driver trying to solve mysteries, I believe. Looks
Okay,
alright. Looks quite cool. I like the style of it.
nice.
Next up is Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, coming 6th of November of this year. I don't know, it looks okay, just your standard 2D platformer that you could transform into monsters, which is pretty cool. Um,
Okay,
but it may not be for me personally.
like
Um,
monsters like Mario Odyssey, like
no,
transforming
it's like
into monsters, or
not like you throw your cat, you just flat just change into monsters like a pig,
oh, okay,
a dragon and stuff like that, and they will have their own abilities and stuff, which is cool.
interesting.
Like Shantae, I guess, is a fair
Yeah,
example.
okay, I'm with you. Yeah, good.
Um, but the trailer just had this really cringy song going along with it. Um, so if it's something like with that kind of style throughout the entire game, I don't know if I could bear with it for too long. But it doesn't look too bad. Um, Streets of Rogue, I think it's just like another run and gun sort of deal, I believe.
Is that the one that's like Streets of Rage, sort of spiritual successor kind of
I
thing?
think so.
It's on that sort of design, wasn't it,
Yeah,
originally? But
which is kind of like weird because Streets of Rage 4 has just been announced as well.
yeah, that's a big game. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, See, I can't remember much of Streets of North to be not Streets of North, Streets of Rogue.
Yeah.
Um, I just feel like I've seen it before, and I'll get that feeling with a lot of
I,
games on this
I'm
list, to be
pretty
honest.
sure that was on either the 3DS or Wii U. I'm not 100%
I
sure.
feel like it was on the 3DS or Wii U.
Yeah, 3DS, I
It's,
think,
I
possibly.
feel like it must be an old game. I'm not sure. I'm not too
I've
sure.
I've definitely heard of it somewhere before. So maybe it's just me being stupid. I don't know. But
Who knows? Um, Moving on, you
oh,
got bad. Oh, go on.
I, I just while you're, I'm sort of trying to, like I said, I'm still trying to catch up with videos. Were you going to mention Tower Fall around here, or
Yeah. That's in the American
oh, it's the
one.
America? Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad, my bad. I
That's
get
alright.
confused.
Bad North is up next, which is this real-time strategy game set in the Viking Age. This was revealed early on in the year, but it's now finally out. I believe Gary, good friend of the show, is keen to try it out.
Okay.
Who knows? Well, maybe he knows. Um,
Gary, do you know?
who knows?
He's probably listening. So hi, Gary. Hi.
Hi, um, I'm not. I wouldn't mind trying this out. You know,
Okay.
I do like the style of it. I just get too stressed out playing some strategy games where it's like, oh, do this or it's lost forever. That just stresses me out too much.
Okay.
I don't know. Like that's why could probably
It's
never play classic mode and
like a
Valorant.
roguelike like style
I
kind
don't
of
think
thing.
it's
Like you
roguelike.
die.
Um, I don't think so. I don't think it's like roguelike.
No.
You just like go around battling stages. I'm not sure if you can revive enemies or not. I mean, revive allies or not.
Okay.
Or if it plays like Fire Emblem, where it's like, oh, if they die once and they're dead forever, like permadeath. Um, but I'm not too sure. Moonlighter is next, which it seems like another top-down action game with pixel art. Looks okay, but nothing too bad on me. Too bad. Nothing too bad, but nothing too special for me to get in. That's coming this autumn.
Right.
Um, this one of mine, which is 2D game of something. I don't know, but it's set in no, but it's set in the World War. I'm not sure which one. I think World War. 2, maybe? I'm not sure.
Okay.
But maybe story based, I'm not sure. And then Children of Morta seems very similar. Actually, this one mine is coming November of this year. Then Children of Morta coming early next year. Seems very similar to Moonlighter. They are by the same company, by the same
Right.
developer. But even then, it
So,
just
like,
seems fairly similar.
like same art style, or
I guess so. Like our style is a big part of it, but like just the fact there's also another top-down action game as well. I'm not too sure. I might need to give it another look
okay.
just to see what differentiates it more. But like, I'm not calling them bad games. I just don't think they're very special either. You know.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
Next up is High Everspace, which actually looks quite cool. You just fly around planets. It's sort of like the Atlas game for Ubisoft.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, you just fly around and stuff, shoot
I did
spaceships.
see something of this, and this looked very interesting to
Mm.
me. But I don't know. It could be just that it's a space shooter and it's nearly
Yeah.
Star Fox, but it's not. So
So that's coming in December of this year. The next one is Baba Is You. Um,
Baba is you.
which actually caught my eye a fair bit, to be honest,
Okay.
because it's like it's a
let me
puzzle
do
game where like you have to sort of mix around with a bit of like coding, I guess. So it's like you have to say something is something else in
Oh,
order to progress. Um, so it's like pushing like words out of the way to make the sentence something else, and that
oh.
sentence dictates what you could do in the game.
So it's like a text adventure game kind of style.
Kinda. It's not really text adventure. Um, it's more like you got a
Oh,
sentence with some movable words, and then you interact with some of the words, and they change what you could do.
oh, this looks
Um,
very, very old. But it's definitely that sort of old looking like 80s game style kind of
I
thing.
guess so,
It's really
yeah.
weird.
But yeah, Bobby Is You caught my eye. That's coming this autumn.
Okay,
Slay the Spire is next, coming early next year. I believe this is a port. It's an RPG, but
okay.
with card game mechanics. So you draw a deck. They all have their own special effects to use in battle. That's the gist of it. So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, but with a story.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that looks alright. Moving on, Windjammers, which is quite famous, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a very old game from the
yeah,
like early 90s kind of thing.
yeah,
Um, it's basically Pong,
mm,
but with like characters
and special
and
moves and stuff.
frisbees and special moves.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was an old arcade cabinet which I spotted at Insomnia recently, which were playing it as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, apparently there's a sequel coming as well, isn't there?
yeah. So they just out of nowhere just announced a sequel.
Yeah.
With this thing, which is pretty nuts. So that's out in 2019. The original is coming to Switch on the 23rd of October, so not too long to wait. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've definitely been interested in it for a while. So I am keen to try it out.
It's a big tournament game, to be fair, Windjammers. It's really
Hmm.
strange that it's still around, kind of thing.
Yeah. Moving on, Prison Architect, which is apparently
Oh, I
um
love this game.
quite an old
This game's
game.
great.
Tell us
It,
about it then.
it's been on Steam for many years. Basically, you just look after a prison and all of its inmates in a like. You've got to build the whole prison. You've got to look after them. You've got to make sure they're clean. But you've also got to, in some terms, like exterminate people. If they're like murderers and things, they might be scheduled for the electric chair and stuff like that.
Hmm.
You've got to build the electric chair, make sure it's got enough power to run the whole thing. You've got to stop the prisons from like rioting, and it's a really interesting game. How it works on the Switch, I'm not really sure. It's not really built for a controller anyway. It's got an Xbox release, I believe it's around, maybe on PS4 as well. But I think this is generally it should be a PC game in my opinion. But
Hmm.
It's definitely worth a look if you're into like your construction sort of building games. Sort of, I don't know if Matt, like old games like Transport Tycoon and things like that. It's like
Yeah.
building your own like industries and stuff. It's very similar to that sort of style. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool to have it on the Switch.
Right, and wrapping up the UK presentation is Morphy's Law, which was first revealed around the same time last
I
year,
was
I
gonna say it was
believe.
about a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we finally heard more about it. It's out now, which is a nice surprise.
Um,
Um,
Morpheus Law is like the Mexican shooter game where every time you got shot in a certain body part, that body part grew. Is that am I correct?
that was the gist of it, yeah.
Yeah, which was
Um,
an interesting mechanic, but how it really works in game, I don't really
I'm not sure.
understand.
Judging
But
by impression I've seen, doesn't seem too good. I don't know. Well, not too
you've heard
good, but not too
we've
bad.
heard mixed opinions on it, haven't we? I don't know
Well,
whether
I
it's
haven't
just because it's
heard
unusual, but
mixed opinions, but I just quickly glanced on Metacritic just to see the average. There's only 4 reviews counted, which is not really too accurate to go by.
mm,
But like, I think some were like, oh, this is what like it wants to be, but at the same time, it's kind of faulty. And I think the
right.
big downfall with a game like this is like it's an indie game with a heavy reliance on online multiplayer.
Yeah,
Where it's
but I
like,
think the heavy technical like part of it, the fact that the whole body part's expanding is a big part to that game, and if it doesn't
mm,
work correctly, maybe it'll put people off straight
mm.
away.
I think more so of the fact that like trying to find other players though. That's the
I
thing.
just wanted to find out how much it is on the store, and I literally opened up and just nearly went really crazy because I just realised Freedom Planet's now on the store. Oops.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's how.
I might need to disappear to go buy that. Bye. No, I'm
Or
joking.
you could save your money and spend it on orbs for Fire Emblem Heroes, which is, in my opinion, a much better investment.
No.
No, I'm only kidding. Um, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find Morphe's Law. Well, it's not even on the front. I couldn't even see it on the front screen, which is kind of annoying. It's 15.99 on Switch. So,
Hmm,
but for that price, I might consider it. I might give it a
maybe.
go and see what I think. But cool.
Uh, hmm. Right, so that was it for the UK Direct. I think it was okay. Not even direct, the presentation.
There was quite a varied selection there, which is nice to see.
Hmm.
So,
It was alright, but they ended it with like saying, "Oh, stay tuned for news very soon." I'm like, Christ, okay, so I already gained more info after this. Next couple of days, they were like, "Oh, like this thing is coming to Switch as well." It's like, "Oh, ah." And then Nintendo America announced, "Oh, we're having another Nindie's presentation." It's like we already had one. So those are the games we're going into right now. Hyper Life Drifter launching 6th of September, which is next week,
ex
as we're recording
excellent
this.
styled game. Look,
Mm,
beautiful made. Literally, it's a stunning looking game. Gameplay's pretty fast and intense.
mm.
Um,
I've
but
heard
yeah,
very
yeah,
good things about
that's
this, so I do want to pick it
very
up.
very positive everywhere that I've seen
Mm,
for it. Yeah, so definitely worth a look.
yeah. Um, Towerfall is next, which is a party game featuring archers and stuff.
I just wanted to mention. I just realised on here. It's got the is it Madeline from
Mm,
Celeste? So which is a strange guest character to
yeah.
have.
Well,
But
it's from the same developer.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes more
So
sense.
it's like I was about to say that. Wait, what? Um, but yeah, it looks quite cool. The actual art style of it is very similar to Celeste, though. I should have known already that it was the same developer from the
Yeah.
get-go. Um,
But it's good to see more coming from that developer because
yeah.
that Celeste was an excellent game. So
Oh, Celeste was a really good game. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think I might get this. Maybe it seems like a fun multiplayer game. That's coming out 27th of September.
cool.
It comes with the previously released DLC as well, which is always nice to have as well. Um, Next up is Treasure Stack, which is Wario Woods with a hook shot, basically.
Okay.
That's literally all I took from it. I was like, okay, yeah, moving on. And that's coming winter of this year. Savot, in which you play as a cube, trying to cheer up your other cube friends, which is quite delightful, actually. I didn't really get too much out of this, to be honest. I just thought it was okay. But it looks good.
I
Just
think you're
maybe
spot
not.
on with your description, though. To be fair, it does look exactly like Wario would. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, about Treasure Stack, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Savot looks okay. I might give it another look, just to make sure. That's coming, this winter. No, not this October actually.
Okay.
Next game, Miniko's Night Market, in which you play as young girl who's just moved into this heavily Japanese-inspired town. And she tries to make a living at the night market. So during the day and stuff, you go off and explore, get materials and stuff like that. So it's very much, it seems like a life simulator game mixed with like some adventure elements.
Right. Okay.
So look, I don't think it will be my game to play either, but it does look quite promising from what it's trying to
It's
show.
got like a very Animal Crossing like art style
Yeah,
to it. I think. But in a sort of 2D format. So
yeah.
yeah, it looks cutesy and there's some interesting mini games in it.
Mm,
So I think that could be quite popular.
yeah. Next is Samurai Gun 2, which I'm not too familiar with the first one in the first place.
No.
That's coming early 2019. Looks quite cool. Whenever you kill an enemy, it's like there's a small satisfying zoom in sort of deal. Where it's like the screen turns black apart from your area.
Right.
So it, like really focuses in on the kills, which I'm not sure which whilst watching it was cool for like, the first couple of seconds, but then it just quickly became like too jarring for like every kill.
Mm.
So I don't know how that would turn out. Moving on, we got Bullet Age, which is probably like my least favorite title from all of this. It just looks kind of plain to me. It's just 2D platformer with guns.
Okay.
Sold. That's coming in November of this year. Again, I might need to give it another look, but so far, but my first impressions was
It,
not.
it's got some like real very cartoony comic book sort of art style to it. I mean,
Yeah, but
it's very sort of Shovel Knight in a way,
I
I suppose.
guess. I don't know. I wasn't really too keen on the art style either. I don't know. It's just something about it just like didn't sit well with me. I have no idea why.
I think that's worth a second look at. It looks a little bit.
Maybe,
I mean, art style wise, it looks better than I originally thought, but maybe not so much in gameplay. Maybe, but
maybe. Next one was The World Next Door, which I'm quite intrigued with. I think it's more story based. And
okay,
it's like your choices do actually affect the dialogue
right.
as you progress. I definitely am keen on trying more story-driven games. So I
Is this
am.
like a puzzle game, or am I
It
gone
is a
too far
puzzle.
ahead?
That's how you like fight enemies, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
how the puzzle exactly will work, and I think that may be a downfall about it. But so far, yeah, it could be fun. Could be a fun time. That's coming early 2019. Level Head is next. You like this, Jack? It's pretty much Mario Maker. That's it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Mario Maker, but not with Mario stuff.
Oh, I see.
Um,
Yeah. So it's like a level builder kind of
yeah.
style thing.
And if you watch the trailer, you will have the a really enthusiastic guy doing it, sort of like the Mighty Number 9 trailer.
Ah,
Like, oh,
okay.
like, oh, hey, you,
So
yeah.
is this like a multiplayer like building game though?
It
It
seems
looks
like
like
it,
there's
yeah.
multiple. That's an
Which I actually don't
interesting.
like the sound of, because I think it can get like too hectic. Because I'm very much like perfectionist. I want something to be like in my view.
It's an
And everyone
interesting
goes off and
look at
doing
it
other
though.
stuff.
There's not
Yeah.
many like games like that where you like a level builder with multiple people working on a level at
I
once.
guess
I
so.
like that idea.
Because
That's
it doesn't
interesting.
seem like a good idea, Jack.
But
I
I
don't
control you
know.
in one corner while you try and make a nice little stage. It's like that
But
sounds
then
like a.
it's not coherent.
Oh
me, like,
man.
trying to explain, oh, do this, and like that's no fun.
But
Trying to order
if
your
you work
friends what to
together
do.
with a genuine team to get that to work, that could be a really
To be
interesting
fair,
idea.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can't see what you mean by that now that I'm thinking about it.
I like the look of it. It looks
Mm,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm just not sold on the game personally.
Okay.
Um, next
I do
though,
like level builders though, so I
mm,
think I can see why.
yeah. Next up is King of the Hat, which seems like a fun party game where you're trying to get rid of the person's hat.
Oh
Like, so,
no, my
yeah,
hat.
yeah. It's like so you try and take the person's hat off, and then when you jump on it, they die.
What am I watching? This is really weird.
I know.
There's like,
It's cool though, right?
yeah.
Apparently, there's a
So
story mode.
basically, you've got a character with a hat, and you basically use the hat to attack.
Yeah,
But when you like, if you miss, your hat can go flying, and the basically you can destroy the hat to destroy the character you're
yeah.
fighting against. So
Which I actually
that's
love
how you
that
score
concept of
points.
it because it's like you
It's
sort of like
interesting.
risk
Yeah.
like trying to attack with your hat as a ranged attack.
Yeah. For some reason, there's a washing machine as a character.
I know. It's so stupid. His
I
backstory is
like.
that he's holding all the dirty laundry of another character in the game.
Right.
So it's
Okay.
like, oh,
That makes
yeah.
perfect sense.
That's coming early next year, which is yeah, I'm keen on this
Okay.
title. And then the next is
Oh, the best
uh
game of the lot.
best game, the MVP, Untitled Goose Game.
Oh man,
You
this
just
looks
play it
amazing.
as a mean goose, trying to be pretty much an arsehole to everybody else, and it looks delightful.
It looks amazing. The
Mm.
art style is great.
Yeah, I'm loving like the
Oh man,
minimalistic
you could
look.
literally eat sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm
uh,
sold. I'm
yeah.
sold. I'm buying it. I don't
I'm
care.
looking
I'm
forward
just
to it.
buying it.
Yeah.
You
Um.
can literally be a complete dick to anyone and try and
Exactly.
avoid farmers and stuff. This is really good. Oh man, this is
Top
the game of the
stuff.
year.
Mm.
Wow,
Um. Yeah. That's my highlight from all of this, to be honest.
big time.
Yeah. Moving on. We've got a little bit of a reel here, going through a lot of titles. Starting off Desert of the Child, that's coming in December of this year. Looks quite cool. Like so, like you wanna do. First, I saw like you on a jet trying to avoid obstacles and stuff.
Mm.
Seems quite fast paced, sort of like that one Battletoads level, I guess.
Oh god. Oh no, not Battletoads.
um, yeah, that looks cool. Wasteland 2 Director's Cut. That's coming 13th of September. I don't know. It could be hit or miss. I'm leaning more towards miss for myself. I'm not too sure
Okay.
what it's about, to be honest. Bastion is coming out. I believe that's support of another indie game.
Yeah,
That's also coming
I'm
out
sure I've
13th.
heard that before, and I can't think of where I've seen that before. So
Hmm.
that's an interesting one. But
Yeah. The Messenger is out right now, actually.
uh, yep, 17.99 on the eShop.
Yep. Which is and it's got glowing reviews. I believe it's and I think it's an exclusive as well. The Messenger. Oh no, it's on Steam as well, so it's not completely exclusive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got an
It looks like Shovel Knight, but with a ninja.
I guess so. It's got an 88 score on Metacritic, which is quite good actually for what it is. Um,
It looks good. It looks
yeah,
cute. It's cool.
yeah, it's got good reviews. So basically, it's an 8-bit game, you know. But then you could time travel to the 16-bit era.
Oh,
So it plays around with that. So it's not just a plain time travel mechanic. It actually
oh,
changes the
that's
art
weird.
style.
Oh, it's from
Uh,
Devolver.
right, yeah.
That's a fairly big indie company. So.
I guess so. Then moved on to Undertale. Confirmed release date of
Oh,
18th of September. Um,
yay!
quite a niche title, really. So let's move on. Um,
Ah.
um, Jack, you're already thinking of getting a physical edition,
Yeah,
ain't
I'm
you?
very tempted.
Fair.
At the moment, the physical edition is only available for America, and you can import it. Still tempted. Um, Waiting to see if Game do a physical release for Undertale or not. It's
Maybe.
unlikely, but
Just go on Amazon. It'll work out cheaper.
Amazon are offering a package for it, but I don't know if it works out cheaper than the other company. But
it'll probably
anyway.
work out cheaper than Game. Everything will
Undertale's
probably work out cheaper than Game.
Undertale's great. If you've not played it, please pick it up. It's a fantastic game. Honestly, it's like if you're into like your classic RPGs like Mother style Earthbound, you'll love it. If you love like zany characters and things, you'll love it. Pick it up. And if you like really difficult boss battles, you'll probably enjoy it as well. So there you go. In three sentences.
Yeah. Moving on, Jackbox Party Pack 5.
Interesting. Don't know what's in this.
Cool to see. October 2018. Nothing much to say because I've never really.
What is in Party Pack 5? Do we know?
I have no idea. It's probably out there somewhere, but I've just not bothered with it.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'm sure, like, if you're a fan of Party Pack games, you will enjoy this one as well. Transistor, which is one I've seen quite good things about before, not too many, but that does look fairly good. That's coming November this year on Switch. Dragon Marked for Death. I'm not neither way about that either. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm not disappointed by it either. That's coming 13th of December. Light Fingers coming 20th of September. I believe that's going to be a quite nice chilled out game, it seems like.
Okay.
And then Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery EP. That's coming October. I'm not sure what that's about either. I'm sorry. And then
what's the EP stand for?
I have no idea. Edition portion. There we go. Additional portion. Edition. Yes. Edition.
Yeah.
And
just don't matter.
Then Into the Breach.
Oh,
Breach.
I've seen gameplay of Into the Breach. Yeah. It's very Advance Wars Fire Emblem sort of style, yeah. But you play your turn all at once kind of thing.
Okay.
So you choose. It's basically like a you're on a 2D plane, and you've got one attacking force and another attacking force, and you set up for what unit is going to attack what unit against the enemy, and you end your turn and they all attack at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's all like you got to plan from there where to position your units and things like that. So
right.
It's a very interesting game, and if you check out Nintendo Village, they do have a gameplay video available on their channel on YouTube right now, which is really good. So check it out.
Right.
And it's $11.39 on the eShop now.
Oh, that's a pretty good price.
It's a good price, and it's really like that sort of style game.
So yeah, so a lot of indie games. We may have dwelled on too long about that, but those are indies for you. They're pretty much everywhere.
They are everywhere. You can buy them.
But yeah, still pretty cool to see all around. Interesting enough,
they did pre-warn us that they had like hundreds of games to come, didn't they, Nintendo, a few months back, you remember? And all of a sudden, here you go!
It's like the only way you'll know about this is like through social media and stuff like that, if you're keeping up to date with Nintendo and everything.
Well, this is the thing, because I missed this completely, so I didn't know about any of these games until we started talking about it here, really. So,
yeah, but it's like
it's very true what you're saying.
It's more like if you're just a casual person going in the eShop, the first thing you'll see is just a recently released. And like I would
presume this video is available to watch on the Switch, though, is it not? The actual indies.
Maybe on the news.
So you might be able to get a glance there, but it's not often I'd look there either.
But it's not like publicised on the eShop or anything.
No.
It's not like, these are all the... It's just not a good eShop. And so all these...
That would make it an interesting thing. Like if you had the video for the latest Direct on there, so you can have these are the games that were mentioned. I'll check them out, kind of thing. Maybe they need a Direct section. Maybe that would work.
That would be good for the eShop, I think. But it's mostly like compared to like the Wii U and 3DS, I just don't think it's as robust. More so the Wii U.
We've mentioned it a few times on previous pods, so we're not happy with it, and I know a few other podcasters have agreed with us. on their own pods and Nintendo pods.
I don't think there's a single person that says the eShop is good. it's like
Well,
Nintendo are getting a lot of things right with the Switch, like from their own games and also the support from third parties, indies and AAA.
and unless you're Rocket League, Stardew Valley, Minecraft, or Rocket League, you're not gonna be
You
that.
mentioned Rocket League twice there.
Did I really? I didn't
think
mean
so.
to reference Rocket League twice. That was my bad. I'm sorry, slowly
yeah.
going into craziness when we talk about indie games.
Yeah.
But Rocket League twice. So
it's like
unless you're those, you're not happy.
The only way they're gonna get good stuff is like by good publicity, and then from there, yeah, you still have to like search it up on YouTube. It's not gonna be like on the front page.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get its own little section.
Well, shall we have a look? What's on the current list? Just out of curiosity, I just want to have a quick browse.
Yeah, should be like The Messenger and Freedom Planet.
Hollow Knight is actually the number one game at the moment.
Oh, on the charts.
Yeah, in the charts.
Yeah, I need to get on that actually.
That's cool. Into the Breach is actually fourth, so it seems popular. And Overcooked 2 and Monster Hunter Generations are in the top 6 as well, so
that's good to see.
Good selection.
So it's like you are still getting like good sales for like all the big titles, but it is like all the ones they're publishing here probably won't even do that well, even when they are pointing out on Nintendo themselves.
And I didn't realise that Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is also now on the eShop. That's quite impressive.
Yeah.
Wow, I might pick that up. That is quite a fun game.
It is. Right. So, with that, for another big news section, it seems to be just a typical day for us here at
As always.
Ecosystem. With that out of the way, let's move into the next section. So this is the what have we been playing section of the show right now, which we haven't had for a while, or since 2 episodes ago. Jack, what have you been playing?
Yeah, I actually was very lucky to go to Insomnia last weekend, which is a gaming festival in Birmingham in the UK. It's basically run by Games events team. They run the whole event throughout the whole weekend, and there was quite a large Nintendo section at this year's event. And I went with Gary Gray from Nintendo Village. She was very lucky to meet up with him for the first time, which was very nice. We had a really good day, played lots of games, and enjoyed lots of things. The first game I actually played when I arrived at Insomnia was Starlink, which is the Ubisoft flying game, basically, is the best way I can describe it. I managed to get the hands-on with the Switch controller with the R-Wing attached to it. So basically, you've had this on your controller the whole time, and you all can like constantly flying with it in game. But you can take off different parts of the plane's weapons and shields and things, and you can attach new parts to it to get different weapons in game. Unfortunately, we only had the 2 available, but we tested the mechanic by taking the weapons off to show literally you take them off and straight in game, they're off the screen, you can't use them. So it's an interesting idea, the fact that you can basically have these ships attached to your controller and you can adapt to whatever setting you want. So for instance, if you landed on a planet with ice physics, lots of ice enemies, you'd want to use flamethrowers and flame missiles and things like that. But if you do the opposite and land on a fire planet, you want to do ice missiles and ice attacks. So you'd have to change your weapons over physically on the actual ship itself to get those different weapons and actions. So in the demo, it's quite a vastly long demo, to be fair. You start off in space, and you can fly around and do whatever you want in space for a little while, or you can go to the main mission, which is to fly down to this planet. In like a sort of hyperdrive like esque way, you fly down, and you physically have to press the buttons to do it. So you always feel like you've got that free flowing movement in space. So it's just quite a nice little feature. But you land on the planet, and this planet for some reason stops your engines from working properly.
Okay.
So you're basically grounded to the ground with just like a anti-gravity like aspect on your ship, so you're constantly like on the ground sort of dragging around with lots of enemies like shooting at you, and big buildings with big red laser beams coming out of them shooting directly at you. There's lots of like dodging mechanics in this game, so lots of like you got to press a certain button at a certain time to dodge out the way, but there's also lots of different varieties and enemies you fight against and things. Right. But the first like two sections. The first section was you've got these like laser turrets which you've got to destroy, and they've got certain waves of different attacks that happen. So one of them was like a horizontal attack which you've got to jump over, and the other one is like a vertical attack which you've got to sort of sidestep away from to avoid it. But it's all in like an open world aspect, like on a whole massive plane, and you've still got to avoid different like things on the ground there. So like you might have like giant rocks to avoid and different traps and things. So there's lots of all sorts of things still going on while you're trying to control the ship and stuff like that. So after the first section, you shoot these certain red orbs which appear every now and then. Like you got to keep flying around to get the right side of the orb to attack it on the right side, and then you just sort of, once you do that, they will explode, and then you got your free movement of your ship again. So you can either start flying in the air casually, or it's not really massively in the air, like it's a certain distance off the ground, but you can switch between flying and being in this sort of ground combat style. So I like the fact you can switch between the two to try and evade enemies and switch away from them, and it works really well as a concept in game. The second section I got into, basically we started flying over to try and chase this large enemy down. And the best way I can describe this enemy was he's sort of like, he's got like 6 legs on the ground, and he's got a massive head which eventually he sort of launches up and he tries to put the throw stuff from his arm.
Right.
But he's got like weak points on his sort of joints and his elbows.
Okay.
And they're really obvious where they are. Like they're big red points to say this is the point when you got to attack him. Attack him now, you'll get a hit kind of thing. But he's got lots and lots of health, and there's loads of different areas to hit on his body. And after you get him down to a certain bar of health, it will start doing different attacks and different forms and changing mechanics, starting sending like smaller enemies who have certain things on them. So like I was saying with the fire missiles and the flamethrower thing earlier, the two different types of enemies start appearing. So you might get the flamethrower one, and then you might get the ice enemies. So you've got to switch between weapons constantly to try to kind of switch things over. So you might, at that point, if you had like a fire missile and an ice missile, you might want both of them on at the same time at this point to try and defend from both of those types of enemies. So there's lots of like evading to then switch your weapons out, then come back into the battle itself kind of thing.
Okay.
It really is a very interesting game in terms of concept. You can sort of definitely see that like Star Fox feel to it with Flying with Fox as well, but it is its own unique thing in altogether, and I thoroughly enjoyed the demo. I think it's definitely one I will be picking up in the future. The only thing that's really putting me off is the whole having this figure on top of your controller the whole time and having to physically change. It's a nice idea, but it doesn't. Kind of takes you away from the gameplay aspect of it, because you can do it in and out while you're in gameplay, but it's the whole like you want to try and evade while doing it. It kind of removes you away from the actual game itself, if you get what I mean. It's kind of it works, but it's just not exactly perfect. You know, you want to be able to switch weapons on the go rather than having to physically take things off, put it back on, do this, do that. It does sort of take you away from the whole aspect of the game, but it is a nice, unique feature, and I do like the idea of it. It does work fairly well. But you can pause the game at any moment and switch it over as well, but it just seems to like I said, take you away from that gunfight kind of thing when you're there. You know, is that kind of thing for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, highly recommend giving the demo a go if you get a chance. I know EGX is coming very soon. I will be at EGX as well on the Saturday, so I'll be hopefully give it another go then. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Would definitely worth a look if you get a chance, and probably worth a pick up, to be honest, if you can get it for cheap enough. I think the problem with it having the physical model as well is going to make the game a bit more dearer to buy. I think a lot of people will miss out on it because of that. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I think the whole having that model is pretty cool as well, and I definitely really did like the Airwing model. It's really cool. So another game I managed to play at Insomnia, but this one is, of course, Smash Bros. It was on the big screen the whole time I was there at Insomnia. They had a massive screen up, and I was like, I wish I could have that screen in my house, but of course I would have nowhere in my house I could fit this massive screen. It was bigger than my house, I swear. So it was crazy. But we didn't queue for very long, me and Gary, to get on to play Smash. We had 2 games with me, him, and 2 other people who were in line, so just all sort of just randomly joined up. The first character I played as was Ridley, so I wanted to sort of test him out as a new character we've not seen much of. He's a very weird character because he's heavy, but he's also really quick because of his B attacks kind of thing. They're very fast attacks. But him physically moving, he's very heavy and slow still. So unless you're using your B moves constantly, you're going to struggle to sort of keep up with the battle. But he is physically very strong. If you manage to get any of the characters in these certain the B attack moves, you are going to inflict heavy damage really quickly. And one of his best moves is A smash down, because it literally just uses his tail as a spike, and it hits everything for so much damage that you'll go flying off the screen either up or down straight away. Very, very difficult to defend against. But yeah, I was really impressed with him as a character, actually. I think the design for him is really cool. I did try to change character types to see if there was the meta Ridley in there, but I couldn't see it in this demo. I was hoping he is an unlockable thing in the game,
I think he must be, because I think we did see that in his reveal trailer.
Yeah, I'm sure we did, but I couldn't find it. Maybe I was just being a bit dumb. But it was really cool to play as him in that game. I also tried Shoutout because we had two matches. Everyone had 2 matches for every game. Tried Shoutout. He's very similar to the other 2 games he's been in the last 2 games, like in Smash 4 and in Wii U as well. But yeah, I mean, we did that. I mean, managed to play the Breath of the Wild stage as well for the first go, and yeah, it was very, very impressive. The fact that the whole stage falls apart and rebuilds itself. There's things flying in from either side. It was just a beautiful looking stage, and I'm really looking forward to playing this on a much bigger, high definition TV, because it looks stunning on the big screen there. But it really is convincing me to try and pick up a better TV to play this game on. So it's going to be expensive in the next couple of months, I'm sure. But yeah, looks great, plays great. I managed to win 2 games, so I was quite happy with that. I gave Gary stick for that all day, so that was quite funny. But yeah, I'm always going to be picking up Smash easy, so I think a lot of people probably be doing the same. I do like the new Pro Controller, which has been announced. Have you seen this?
Yeah, that looks really nice.
With the white Smash Bros symbol on it, I really do like that. I think it looks really good. Definitely be considering picking it up. I do already have one Pro Controller already, so I might pick it up in preparation for Smash, so other people can play with me. Yeah, so just a quick brief one about Insomnia. I managed to play 2 other big games while I was there. First one being Spider-Man for the PS4. Plays excellently. If you've played the previous Spider-Man 2, for example, on PS2, if you played any of the Batman Arkham games, I think you're going to love this game. It is solid. It really does, gameplay wise, it does Spider-Man justice. You've literally got to hit each part of the building to swing each area. You can't just put it in the air and fly willy-nilly. You've literally got to plan where you're going to put your webs before you start moving. And there's lots of different moves you can do to keep the movement of webbing in the air around. There's some sort of stealth mechanics in it where you can sort of sneak around and web people to buildings and things, which is quite funny. But there's also lots of the battle mechanics similar to like the Arkham games and things like that, like counter and then attacking. So yeah, a really good, interesting game. Definitely considering picking up a PS4 to play that. Whether I'll have it after that, I don't know. I'll probably just trade it in afterwards. But yeah, it's a pretty cool game. I also managed to have a quick go on Tomb Raider, the latest introduction of that game, and I wasn't that impressed, if I'm honest. I mean, it was the gameplay was good and fine, but just like cutscenes and story seemed a little bit janky in the demo, and I think it kind of put me off a little bit. But yeah, still fun if you're looking to pick them up. I'm sure you'll enjoy them, so that's cool. But I just wanted to say thanks to Neil Maker from Insomnia, because I got a free ticket off him to go, which was pretty cool, and Gary appreciates it as well. So thank you very much, Neil. I'll give you a shout out for you at the end of the sections. So let's go into some more Switch games, shall we? I picked up Monster Hunter Generations again this week, because it just recently released on Monday, I believe. I think it was Monday.
Tuesday, I think.
Tuesday,
yep.
Sorry. Bit of a weird day to release a game. I don't quite understand that, but
most third-party games do release that day, don't they?
Well, I don't know, because a lot of them have been releasing like near the end of the month recently. But I know it's a bit sporadic for different companies and stuff. But it just seemed a bit odd that it was like a couple of days before payday. Maybe they should have done it on payday itself. But whatever, it's out. If you play the 3DS version, you played this version basically. There's not a lot of differences other than slight graphical changes. I mean, if you enjoy Monster Hunter, you're going to buy it anyway. But would I suggest picking this up to someone who's never played it before? It's a bit of a difficult one. I mean, it's a great game, but it's very difficult to pick up as a newbie, this one. I don't know. I mean, we're trying to sort of have a discussion about this recently on Facebook with a few from Nintendo Redding. It was like Monster Hunter World's been out for basically nearly a year now on Xbox and PS4, and it did really well. But that was sort of put out there as like, if you've never played a Monster Hunter game before, this is probably a great game to start off with. But we're saying, if you had the same audience now trying to play Monster Hunter Generations, do you think they would do just as well? Because there's a lot of different aspects that aren't in Worlds that are in Generations. There's a lot of like different parts to it which just aren't explained very well.
Okay.
And it's extremely intense, like all this like text and things that come at you straight away to sort of try and explain everything, and you're just like, unless you read all of it, you won't understand what's going on with this game sometimes. It's a little bit frustrating, if I'm honest. I think Monster Hunter Generations struggles with the fact it doesn't have like voice acting and things like that. It's all completely text based.
Right.
And I think whereas World does have slight, like in some cases it does have sort of explaining things to you directly from someone. But yeah, I think that's one of the main sort of things. But tutorial wise, it's a little bit struggling. But once you get into the game, there's a lot of excellent monsters in this one to battle, and lots of new armors and stuff to unlock. And I think the main great part of this game is the multiplayer, because you can literally, if you've got a Switch on the go, you can go out and play with someone straight away just by linking up with a few, party or whatever straight away there. It works really easily. But also playing online, you can literally just join a hub, invite players to the hub, and you're there playing games straight away. It is so quick and easy to do. There's been some like sort of technical issues with it in the last couple of days. I think it's just about the first day server issues and things, but people come back to it. But I think overall, I think it'll be fine in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's if you've played Monster Hunter before, you've probably already picked it up. If you're still not sure about picking it up, I'd recommend it. It's a good game, but I'd say give it some time if you've never played it before. It's definitely one it's difficult to get into straight away. I think you've got to sort of take your time with it,
right,
and try and understand the mechanics to it. I think overall with Monster Hunter, the only thing that really annoys me most is the control system, because I think where basically the Y button is your main attack button, it's very odd kind of thing. Like this normally you think like A or B is your normal attack button, where that's like change item weapons and things like that. So it's very odd. But I think once you get used to that, I think it's quite easy to understand. But even sometimes when I'm looking through different items and things, I accidentally throw an item over because I pressed the wrong button and things like that. You know, you just don't always get it in your mind's eye. It's very strange. Okay, so other games quickly. I've been playing lots more Fortnite. That game's gone that game's gone crazy last couple of days. There's giant purple cubes that look like game cubes, which you can bounce on, and you can bounce off this and not even die when you bounce off of it. It's literally huge. It takes up like a quarter of like one of the sections of the map. It's really strange. There's some sort of lore where there's things coming from our world into their world at the moment. There's a couple of big changes in the recent weeks. To what used to be Tomato Town, which was like a little area with a tomato character as on this fast food chain, has now been completely demolished and turned into a temple, like an Aztec temple with a tomato on top of the temple. So yeah, it's very strange. I've only noticed it the last couple of days. I don't know if it's been there the whole time. I've just not been there. But it was a very strange change, and there's a lot more strange changes like that. Like there's a complete like swamp area that's been demolished and turned into a desert area, and there's another area which now got a Viking building on it and things like that. So I like the fact they keep changing the map constantly, and there's different things to confuse players, but at the same time, here's a new area to try out, give it a go, kind of thing. I like that idea of the game, and it keeps you wanting to go back and play it still. I was trying to explain the past like challenges that have been in like the recent weeks for this game, because I bought the battle pass pretty much straight away for the start of the season, but it basically gives you extra challenges to unlock and gives you extra abilities for doing so. Right. So, for instance, if you level up so far with the battle pass by completing certain challenges, such as there's one that was like jump through these fire rings which appeared all over the map, and with a new like golf buggy, basically, you could jump through these rings, and you can, if you get through 5 of them, you unlocked something for your experience or an item to use to basically show off, so which is most of what Fortnite is. But yeah, I've managed to get through quite a lot of that, and I think the whole battle pass itself has kept me wanting to go back and play, because every few days they'll unlock another 5 challenges for you to complete on the battle pass. So it does keep you making want to go back to, okay, I've got a couple of days to come back. I'll go play something else. I'll come back 2 days later, and I'll come back to Fortnite and finish those challenges off. So it's one of those. I like that idea that I can come off of it, go play something else. Then if I come back on this certain day, I'll get something for doing it. So yeah, I do like the idea of that. It does work really well, and I can see why so many people buy the battle pass for that reason, and why how Fortnite's done well out of that system. It works really well. For even though it's been a free play game, there is some paid aspects that have in game that you reward the player for doing so. So like you unlock costumes or like dance abilities, or nothing that will change the game, but it just it gives you that reward for doing so. It sounds stupid, but that's what's kept me going playing Fortnite. So, but yeah, cool. That's pretty much that. There's still another couple of weeks to go, and I've nearly completed all the challenges for the whole season. So that's my challenge for the end of this month, is to finish all those challenges and get completely done. So there you go. Talking of more challenges, Hyrule Warriors, I am still playing through that game. It is incredibly annoying and frustrating, but fun at the same time. So it's now become one of my highest played games on the Switch. I've played Hyrule Warriors more than Mario Kart and Breath of the Wild now. So just to say how much I've been playing it. The only other game that's beaten at the moment is Splatoon 2. Which I've put a ridiculous amount of hours into the single player and multiplayer of that game. But yeah, Hyrule Warriors, I've been going through like the adventure maps now, because I completed the main story on normal mode, but I've still got to go back through some of the levels on hard, because doing it on hard unlocks like different skulltellers and heart pieces to unlock. So there's always like more content to do for that part of the story. But also in the adventure maps, for example, we've got the normal Legend of Zelda map, which you can go through willy-nilly quite easily. There's not really much challenges in the first map. But then it gets to like the 4th or 5th one, we've got like the Twilight Princess maps. Okay. Where you basically got sections of the map are closed off until you beat certain challenges in that game. So because they're all locked in Twilight, you can't do anything about it. But the annoying part of this is like you've got to beat this challenge to unlock the next area. The next area might have an item to unlock the Twilight area, like areas which are shadowed off. but it means you've basically got to do that challenge to go back and do the other challenge you've already done again to unlock the whole map of that section. And it's kind of frustrating having to do that again and come back to it. But you do unlock double items for the Twilight map, so it does give you that sort of aspect of going back and forth and unlocking like abilities for your characters and stuff like that. In terms of like experience wise on my characters, I'm really struggling to get them high at the moment.
Okay.
Like Link's on like a level 60 abilities, and everyone else is like less than 40. Because Link's the one I've used the most because he's the character for most of the story mode. But then you get characters like Sia, who is like the main protagonist in the story mode. She's not in so many of the challenges, so it's quite. I only use her every now and then to unlock like a heart piece, for example, in one of the challenges. So her level is really low, whereas some of the other characters are really high. So once you go back to a character which is really low level, it's quite a difficult game because you're going through to the harder maps, but with a character which isn't even leveled up. It's very, very difficult to keep up with the whole challenges in game. But overall, it's been really fun to challenge that game. I'm still trying my best to get through as much of that game as I possibly can. Try and unlock all the achievements, and I'm going to try my best to get as close to 100% again with that game by the end of the year, which is an incredibly difficult challenge, and I think it's well worth a go if you've never given it a go playing Hyrule Warriors. So very fun, very good. So another couple of games I've been picking up. First, I'll do the Switch ones, and there's one on the 3DS which I picked up recently. So I picked up Mega Man Legacy Collection because I've never really played many. Yeah, I've never really played much like Mega Man games.
Yeah, I'm interested in it.
That's my same sort of thing, Matt. So I basically picked this Legacy Collection up so I could give the Mega Man games a go. Oh my god, they are so hard. You don't realise how difficult these games are until you start playing through. You try to go through the first section, you die somewhere like halfway through, you think, oh, then there must be a checkpoint nearby. No, it sends you right to the start of the game again, so do the whole level again and try not to die. And there's just so many points in it where it's like you should be able to avoid that enemy, but he's obviously going to run right into you and you can't avoid him whatsoever. And it's like, that's just a little bit of bullshit, it's like really annoying and frustrating. Because I've never really played any, I know the aspect of Mega Man, like you go to certain bosses and you get the abilities from the bosses to then fight the rest of the bosses, and you get depending what ones you fight, they have a bit different weaknesses and strengths against different characters.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one's good against the other. I have no idea whatsoever. I'm going to have to look up some guides to sort of understand where to go here, there, and everywhere. Otherwise, I'm just going blindly into it and don't know who I'm fighting. But with the main blaster, the first weapon you get, every boss is difficult. So I just don't know. It's really, really strange. I know the whole rewarding a player for getting better power-ups later on in the game, but when you start really weak at the start of the game and you just can't even beat the first boss, it's so frustrating that it just made me turn it off straight away. But I will go back to it once I've got a bit of a playthrough more of Hyrule Warriors and put that down for a bit and things like that.
Yeah.
I had a quick couple goes on Paladins, which was released recently on the Switch as well. It's kind of.
How do you find that?
It is basically very similar to Overwatch. I know you're big in Overwatch, aren't you, Matt? So it's very similar in gameplay style. It's not really a game I've ever really played. I've never played Overwatch, but I know of similar games which use the same sort of mechanics. Like you've got a healer, you've got certain characters who are better at doing certain things than others. But I've never really done that myself, and I didn't know what I was doing. I just chose a random character and just started shooting. Like, you think it's a first-person shooter, it's fine. I just carry on shooting people. And I actually did quite well the first few games I played. Didn't quite really understand the concept of what I was doing or how. And as a new player, I didn't really get it. But it was quite fun. I've only played it for about an hour or two, and it was fun for what I got for it. It was a free-to-play game, so I couldn't really complain too much. But once maybe I get a bit more of the concept of what to do in that game, maybe I'll enjoy it a bit more. I don't know, but it's one of those. I'd recommend picking it up if you've not played it. I think it's for free. It's worth a go. Maybe get a team of you together to give it a go. Maybe it would be interesting to you. I don't know, but yeah, it's one of those. It was a bit strange to me, but it was fun for an hour or so, you know. And finally for the Switch, I also played Picross S2, which is a Picross game where you basically play Picross, which is like the squares. It's kind of similar to Sudoku in a way. A squared like screen, and you've got like numbers on it, and it tells you where to go. Squares across, squares down, and it basically reveals a picture at the end once you complete all the squares. This one's slightly different to the first one. It's got an extra mode on top of it. So basically, you play through the game like normal, and every time you complete so many puzzles, you unlock an extra puzzle for a different mode. And the different mode has lots of different sized puzzles, not just the standard like 10 by 10 or 20 by 20. It has really odd shaped like puzzles.
Okay.
Some are like oblong size, like you get like 5 by like 15, so it is a very strange shaped thing. But you can unlock all these, and they make a massive picture at the end of it, and you can only unlock these by completing the rest of the options in the game. So at least it gives you a sort of an end game aim for that Picross game. So it's very strange to try and explain, and I just like enjoying Picross are great games for playing at work and stuff like that when you're on your lunch breaks, obviously. But for a quick like 5-10 minutes on there while you're trying to chill out, they're quite cool, easy games to play. So pretty cool. I'll just go back quickly to WarioWare Gold on 3DS, which I picked up, which I thought was quite expensive for £35 for a 3DS game now.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just a little bit like not too sure because I'm not really going to play it that much.
For the most part, like 35 would be like the normal price for a 3DS game, like if it was releasing at a different time.
I think now that it's like on its last legs, effectively, isn't it? But I think that's why I was like, maybe they should have put it down a little bit more, just so to get a few more people finally interested in this basically the last game on the 3DS, isn't it? I think we've got Luigi's Mansion to come and nothing else other than that. So as far as I'm aware,
it's like, I think it is only that.
Yeah. So anyway, WarioWare Gold is really good. If you enjoyed the previous iterations of WarioWare, it's basically a sample of all the games, and you can play them in different sections. So, for instance, you've got a just tapping buttons section, you've got a using the stylus section, and you've got a rotating with the actual 3DS itself section. So you can play them in different modes. And every time you complete one of those, it unlocks another character with a different aspect or different type of games in it. For example, you can unlock 8-bits levels, which are all Nintendo-based, like designs, all with either the free like touch movement or press the buttons. So yeah, I mean it's very similar to all the others. There's lots of stuff to unlock in this game in terms of like extra mini games and extra like really stupid Easter eggs and things like that. There's one part of it like you unlock phones from all the different characters, and you can use the phones to like enter passwords in it, and you get really random conversations about some of the other characters in the game. So it's like a really weird dialogue Easter egg like hunt kind of thing. It's very odd. It's very strange. But I think the best part of most WarioWare games is the replayability after you've completed the game, because as much as the story is interesting, fun, all the Wario parts are quite funny. You can definitely see the sort of aspects from there was a shaking game on Wii with Wario where like shake him up or something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's very much that game's like art style and very similar to that. But the humor is definitely from there as well. There's some moments with Wario I'm like, I can't even explain it. He's just hilarious. I don't know why, but some of the things he's saying. I think there was like an anger nap was one of the like funniest parts of it. Like he literally having a conversation with the player, and he just like suddenly falls asleep like with an angry face on, like angry now, and it's like what?
That seems very much like WarioWare, to be fair.
Yeah. It's very stupid, but it's very fun, and if you after you complete the game, you basically go for endless runs on all these modes, and there's an extra modes at the end where you can play all the mini games all in one. Or you can play it all with just one life and get as far as you can. Ooh. And there's also the hard mode where they're all set. All the mini games are set to the hardest mode, and they get faster and faster as you go along. And if anyone can get like say 40 plus on any of those games, good luck to you, because they are really difficult sometimes. Even once you learn each of the mini games and all the mechanics and everything too, I think it's quite difficult to get any higher than like 40, 50 on those sort of games. But yeah, I mean, it's for a fun little mini game. It's pretty cool. It's nice to see WarioWare back. It's unfortunate it's on the wrong console, but it is fun for a good few hours. Definitely, I wouldn't put much more into that. It's a good game to come back to every now and then. So it does work well on the 3DS, but I'm just like many others, I'm frustrated why this isn't on the Switch. I think, to be honest. I mean,
I think
the only thing you can't do is the stylus. I think that's the only problem with
it. I think so, but the stylus does make up like a fairly big part of the game, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the three styles again? So it's like, so you got the gyro, you got the touch, and you got the buttons.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is suited for the 3DS though. Like, I'm not saying like it doesn't deserve to be on the 3D. Like, I think the Luigi's Mansion game, something like that would be better suited for the Switch. But with WarioWare Gold, I feel like it's like either half and half.
Yeah.
To be honest, because it's like
I see what you're saying.
Because it's like Sushi Strikers actually in the same way. I feel. Because it's like I feel like touchscreen would be better suited for that game, and I think the stylus is just like better to just glide along rather than like your finger on the Switch screen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree with that.
But yeah, I am interested in Wario Gold. If it's one 3DS game that I do want to get this year, it would be WarioWare. But
I wouldn't I wouldn't say don't buy it. It's an excellent game. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it's far too late in the life cycle of the 3DS. Normally, like WarioWare games come out very early on systems, just so they can show off the mechanics of the consoles and things. And it's just like it's a bit too late for what you're trying to do. And I know it's like saying this is the gold game. This is all the classics from the previous games all shoved into this one, and let's just have some fun with it. And it does do that. You do have fun with it. It's a great game. But it just like once you've gone through all the levels, the only thing you got to come back to is try and beat the highest scores. There's nothing else that sort of drags you back into it after your completion. I think other than that, I mean, it is a fun game. It is great. £35, I think, is still a little bit too much for it personally.
It's,
I think
like 30 quid on Amazon just now.
30 quid on Amazon. There you go. That's probably a more reasonable price. Maybe like £25-30 is what I was sort of thinking. But yeah, it's certainly worth a pickup, and just for Wario's crazy cutscenes alone, I think it's very fun. So. But yeah, it's great, but just be wary of how much you're paying for it and why it's on the 3DS. You know, I think that's the only way I can sort of end it. But that's pretty much all the games I played. Insomnia was great though. I really enjoyed that. I managed to get the WWE UK stuff afterwards and watch a bit of wrestling, so that was fun as well. But yeah, that's pretty much covered it. There was loads of great indie games there, but there's so many I couldn't list at the moment. So I'll try and do a whole list on my Twitter page and YouTube channels very soon. So if you miss anything, and I'll link you to that so we can talk about all that later on. Because I did try to do it after I left Insomnia, but I was so tired and exhausted that my video was completely gobbledygook basically. So it was all fun. So, go on, Matt. What have you been playing? Let's find out.
What have I been playing?
What have you been playing?
Fairly less, but still quite good. I'll start off with Hyper Japan. Because when you were last on, it was just before Hyper Japan was on in London for this year.
That's it.
Quite good. I don't. If you read my article on Fiji Tribune, which if you haven't already, just go on Fiji Tribune, search in Hyper Japan, and it should be Hyper Japan 2018 something. Those are my thoughts on it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, the main thing that I didn't really like about this year was like there was no big game. Whereas like last year you had
Right.
Super Mario Odyssey, right?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, Hyper Japan 2018. That's the article title. And the year before that, well, the year before that, 2016 didn't really have anything, and I feel like Zelda is a bit too much to show off. Um,
Right.
well, Zelda was a bit too much.
Okay.
But yeah, it was and the year before that in 2015 you had Super Mario Maker. So it's like, but this year you didn't have Smash Ultimate, which was pretty much like the only big game from E3, and it wasn't at the show.
Hmm.
So
That's a bit
that was
strange.
like a bit like if you're in UK in general, then you wouldn't have to wait long because it's like only like about 2 weeks after that it was available in the UK anyway. At the Nintendo versus UK event, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, but aside from that, it was a decent showing. They didn't have the big stage like they normally do for like Insomnia, EGX, stuff like
Hmm.
that. So that was a bit weird to not see that because I think that was like the first time that they haven't done that. So it's much smaller on Nintendo's part. That's the gist of it. It was still a good showing, but not as strong as like last year's, I'd say, on the whole.
Probably just like sort of saving budget for the bigger games, but bigger festivals maybe. I don't
Hmm.
know, but it does seem strange. They normally do have at least one big game at Hyper Japan, don't they? It's
Normally, yeah.
yeah,
Um,
very strange.
but still, you got like Splatoon 2 to play on with the Octo expansion. We tried a bit of Labo actually, making our
Oh,
own little
cool.
Labo carts, which is quite fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to do it like Splatoon themed, like, and try to go the whole 10 miles by like coloring it all in. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be here all day.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
let's just go.
So, did you enjoy that though? And playing
Yeah,
Labo, was it
it's really sturdy. You know,
right?
it's quite well built. Like I tried some other stuff like the house and the piano, and it's just like built all together.
Cool, cool.
Um, like it's not really flimsy or anything, which like we wouldn't expect that from Cardamom in the
It's
first
it's
place.
quite
But
it's quite thick cardboard, isn't it? That they
yeah,
use. It's not like the thin, flimsy stuff. It is really
mm.
thick.
Yeah, it is good
But
stuff.
just mention on Labo. Did you see the newest pack that's coming out for
Yeah, the
Labo?
vehicle kit.
Yeah.
That looks alright. I'm still
There's a
not.
lot. There's a lot more to it than the other oins. I think. I think in terms of the actual game itself, there's a lot
Mm,
more to
that's
that
true.
physical game because you
Um,
got the whole going flying, going under the sea, going on the
yeah,
roads and things like that. It looked interesting. So
you got to play America 8.
you can as well. Yes,
Hmm.
of course you can. Yeah, which is good. You can
Um,
use the bike and the car now. So
very true. Um, what else did I play? My Hero Runs Justice, which is the fighting game based on My Hero Academia, which is an incredibly popular anime series right now. Probably one of my
okay,
favorites.
I've
Well, it is
heard of
one of
it.
my favorites. It is good. And I really liked it. For Fighter, a licensed fighting game. I did have quite good fun with it. If you don't like Mario Hero Academia in the first place, then yeah, you probably won't like it, like this fighting game. But if you do like myself, then yeah, it's quite the treat. Um, like it's a normal 3D fighting game. You know, you run around. You could do like range attacks. You could do short range attacks. All that. And you get to call in sidekicks as well, which is sort of like Pokken in a way. Like you could
Hmm.
call in other characters to assist you quickly, then they go. Um, yeah, My Hero's One Just was probably one of my favorite shows. Let me like just read the article actually. Jump Force was the other one.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, it kind of sucks. I
Oh,
don't know.
really?
Yeah, it's like so. The actual concept of it I like, but it was just like was going too fast to actually keep up.
Oh, okay.
So it's like with other fighting games where it's like, okay, so I could get the general controls, but I still couldn't understand what I was doing with Jump Force.
What sort of is it more like Xenoverse in sort of
I
control
think
scheme?
so. I'm not too sure. Probably because it's developed by Bandai Namco as well.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I do like how
It
it
is
looks,
it is
but
in like a 3D like aspect
yeah,
rather than
yeah,
2D, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
3D.
just yeah.
But like the other thing as well, like they don't have like a multiplayer setup.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
which is like really annoying because it should be something pretty sorted out for something like that.
That
For a
seems
fighting
very
game.
odd. Not
Hmm.
yeah, maybe I don't know if it was just a demo or
I'm just hoping a lot of stuff gets like sorted out before release, really.
hmm.
Especially
I
like
mean,
the actual match itself, because you form a
yeah,
team of three, and then you pick the computer to have a team of three as well. But you only need to knock out one member of the
yeah. So
opponent's team to
it's very
actually
similar
win.
to the Dragon Ball Xenoverse by the sound of it. Like you have
Yeah,
the three characters, all three against three, but you can switch out any
yeah,
point to
yeah,
try
yeah,
and
yeah. But like the
continue the battle.
computer never switched out, so the match would be over when I just beat up just that one character.
One character,
Yeah.
that's a bit sucky.
Which is like, yeah, yeah. Hopefully it gets sorted out, and hopefully it's just for
Mm,
demo purposes. But still, it's just like
yeah,
I don't know. I want to
I
see
think
more of it
the
naturally, but
the problem you got with that game is it's basically built on like nostalgia, basically, isn't it? Like to try and get people to play it
I guess so.
who
Yeah,
like those certain animes and things like that. So it is nice they put them all together. I do like the idea of it, but if it's still the same problems that Xenoverse had, maybe not so much. You know,
yeah,
it's kind of frustrating. But
yeah,
it does interest me though. I can't disagree there.
yeah. Um, the other one was Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Um,
Ah, yeah.
I'm not. I've never really paid much attention for the No More Heroes franchise, ever really. Um, but it's really good. It was really fun. It's just mainly a hack and slash, top down, pinchy game. But yeah, it
Cool.
was just fun. It seems like a good thing for a co-op game, just like slashing about with a friend. Um, but you
Sounds
also get
fun.
like special moves that recharge over time. But the thing I like about it, it's not detailed, but basically it's powered on the battery. So your
Okay.
weapon is battery powered. So if you use it too
Right. Okay.
much, the battery drains. And so to recharge it, you have to hold down a button and just shake the controller.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know
That's
why, but like he
kind
just
of
felt
interesting.
satisfying to use.
So
Um,
it's like you constantly having to stop to recharge and then battle again, kind of thing,
yeah,
or is it like
so it creates a dynamic of like you can't go in rushing too deep, otherwise you'll just have no juice left at all.
yeah?
Um,
That's a good way to use the controllers like function like that though. I do like
motion,
that
yeah.
idea. Yeah,
Um,
interesting.
yeah, and there's only like small movements as well, so it's not like big shaking. It's just like a little, um,
Little
just little,
tilt.
yeah, stuff like that. Um, yeah, gameplay wise, it was nothing too special, but it was fun,
Hmm.
And that's what I think it has to be at the end of the day. So yeah, that was Hyper Japan. It was quite good. If you want more, read my article on VGTribune.com. Moving on, three games, one DLC pack being Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle Donkey Kong Adventure.
Okay, cool.
Um, so this is the DLC for Mario & Rabbids game, starring DK, as the title may imply. Um,
Donkey Kong.
Donkey
Sorry, I was
Kong
going to
is
do the rap.
here.
But I thought, yeah,
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
yeah, I liked it. I did like the original game, so I was looking forward to trying out the DLC as well. Um, I feel like it's more. It's weird because it's much shorter. I think it's only like about 5 hours, 5 to 7 hours, depending on how you do things.
Yeah.
I did find it to be a lot easier though, because there's no like the enemies themselves don't actually get tougher.
Okay.
Unlike the main game, like when you go to New World in the main game, the actual enemies like toughen up, like they get more health,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But in this DLC they don't, so they always stay at the same health.
Oh, okay.
So when you get like more powerful weapons, then you could then you would be able to one-shot them. But it makes up for that by like having more interesting scenarios.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
one is for the main story, there's not really much of a story, but basically Rabbid Peach and Beepo, who's the guide character, they get transported to Donkey Kong's island, and they then meet up with Donkey Kong and a rabbit version of Cranky Kong.
Oh yeah.
And they
Yeah.
find and this happens after Chapter 1, when Rabbid Kong is defeated. And now Rabbid Kong is the main bad guy of this game.
Okay.
So that's the general gist of it, and he's got bad bananas which power him up. So you gotta stop him from like being too powerful. So that's the main story. It doesn't really go anywhere, which is to be
So
expected. But I would have
so
liked.
what does Donkey Kong have as like
So
abilities? What does?
so Donkey Kong, he's got a weapon and he's got a ground pound. Which are two abilities. They make him quite powerful actually, especially the ground pound.
Okay. Right.
Like getting people drawing in with the with his bongos. So get enemies all nice and close and just do the ground pound to hit a lot of enemies at once. It's quite satisfying.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Cool.
but those are just his abilities. They're quite unique as well. But well, they're unique for everybody really. Um, but Donkey Kong just feels different entirely because of how he moves.
Yeah.
So there are so a basic function of the game is the team jump. So
You like launch off of one
yeah.
player onto another kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can move
Yeah. I know about.
around, jump on a person's head to get to either higher ground or just other places in general,
Yeah.
or just like cover more ground, I should say. But Donkey Kong can't actually team jump. Instead, what it does is that when
Oh.
he goes into contact with one of your allies, he just picks them up and he throws them.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so you can actually cover more distance with your teammates as well.
Oh. Okay. So that's a
So
different
that's one of the
aspect of the
things. But
character. Yeah. Cool.
the other thing as well is, that's not just Yalas. You could also pick up enemies as well. So you
Okay.
can pick up like one of the small rabbits and like just go up to high ground and just push them off the high ground.
Okay.
Like bounce them off into another person. Or you could like pick up coverage, like blocks that can be used for cover, and just
Yeah.
launch them for damage as well. So it's really versatile. Donkey Kong in general is just like really versatile and really like can move quite freely. Um, so yeah, he's a great character. I really like him in the game. Then the other new character is Cranky, Rabbid Cranky.
Rabbit
He uses a
Cranky.
crossbow. He uses a crossbow. He uses like this launching bomb sort of thing. And when he does a team jump, he also shoots the ground below him, which can be quite cool. So basically, one combo could be Donkey Kong can move up. He grabs Cranky Kong, gets behind cover, and then throws him. So when Cranky Kong flies, he shoots the enemies below him, right?
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
Cranky Kong lands. And then what Cranky Kong can do is just like go around, slide tackle one person, go back over to Donkey Kong, jump on Donkey Kong again, so he does the shooting below attack again, and then he can still do his turn by like shooting or whatever. So there's like
Yeah.
a
Okay.
lot
I'm
of
with you. Yeah.
freedom in what you could do in terms of strategy, like the main campaign as well. So I'm glad that was carried over to Donkey Kong Adventure. You can only
Yeah.
play as those three characters though, but I kind of like that though because it keeps things focused on those characters. So there's nothing too complicated like, oh, which team would be best suited for this? Which characters do I power up? Whereas like that
Mm.
hassle's removed for you because you can only power up three characters anyway. And for the length of the game, it is three characters is pretty good. Um, one of my main gripes though is with the final battle. For some reason, it has no music,
Oh.
which is really weird because you're going through this whole game with like really good music, and then suddenly in the final battle, like it starts off and then it just fades off, and then you're just left with like no music whatsoever.
That's a bit strange.
It's really stupid. I don't know, and it's not just me. Like I've seen other people have that same problem as well, which is weird because you wouldn't expect that. But yeah, that's like my one little gripe with that campaign. It is good, only a tenner for like what it's offering is quite good. If you like the base game, definitely pick it up as well. Alongside that, I got Fury as well.
Yeah.
This I got when there was a big summer sale. So I got it for like a tenner or something instead of 18 quid.
Oh, okay. It's not bad.
So basically, it's sort of like a boss rush game. So the main concept is just fighting big bosses. So you fight 10 in the main campaign.
Okay, yeah.
And it's split into two sections. The first phase, let's say, is like a 3D section. So you're just running around, shooting the stuff with the right stick. If you get in close, you could do a couple melee attacks. But yeah, so it's just mainly avoiding all of these shots that the boss is doing. And that could change from a lot. But thankfully, you have this really quick dash. So that could use to just avoid quick shots, but also just to traverse like bigger gaps. So like some may do one large beam, right? And without that dash, it'd be unavoidable. So say if it starts from one end, goes continuously over to the other end of the stage.
Yeah, right? I'm with you, yeah.
But you could use the dash to charge up and just dash through it without taking damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that dash is quite important in your toolkit. So it's quite a simple toolkit for that section, and also relatively simpler in the let's say closed quarters section of fights, where it's more like compact. You're in a much smaller area, like a much smaller circle. Your area movement is limited, and you could only really do melee attacks. But you could also have the opportunity to just charge up as well if you don't get hurt, that is. But yeah, so those are the two styles, and you'll be switching between them throughout the fight. But yeah, the fights themselves are really well done. Each boss feels different from the last. And they do feel quite fair. It's more like about learning, really. Because I was only able to beat one on my first try. It's really about like learning the attack patterns and like just getting better at understanding the game's mechanics as a whole.
Yeah.
Like finding out what you can do, what you can't do, stuff like that. So I did like that aspect of it because your character can't actually power up at all. So the only thing you can power up is your skills at the game, which is a bit of a mix and a not. Because I like it because it creates a more authentic experience. Like you are actually becoming just generally more skilled at the game. But it would be nice to feel some sort of regression at the same time as you went throughout the story. Like either just more health or whatever. Speaking of health, it's quite weird. So
yeah,
you have same amount of health, I'd say, maybe, between you and the bad guy, per bar, that is. So you have like 3 chances, let's say. So when your health runs out, you lose a life, let's say. So then you go down to 2 lives. If you lose all your health then you go down to 1. And if you lose that last portion, then you're out for good, basically. But if you manage to do that to your enemy, then that's when they enter the close quarter phase. So the first phase is the open range bit, right?
Yeah, right.
You take down all their health, and then they'll be defeated for a bit, and then you go into close range. So you need to get up to them and just attack, basically. And then you need to take down all their health again, but this time in close quarters. So you need to learn both styles of gameplay to truly be fluent, and to truly succeed, let's say. If you get defeated during, well, no, actually, what it is like, so you do the open range and then you do the close range. After you defeat them in the close range, one of their bars will go out, right?
Right.
And after that, they form a new attack pattern. So as the fight progresses, you won't be getting the same attack pattern over and over again. So as the fight
No,
progresses, you'll be
it's always
dealt
be
with
like
new,
slightly
yeah,
different every time.
yeah. As the fight progresses, you'll be dealt with new challenges and stuff. If you die during, um, if you lose your health in that bar as you're fighting them, then their whole attack pattern starts again. So even if you're in the close quarters phase, you'll be brought out back into that open range thing beforehand. It's hard to explain, which is something I've
Yeah.
been saying almost every episode of the show. But um, but yeah, it just feels fluent. You know, I like that challenge. It gives you like more impact if you do muck up. And if you do lose all your lives, then you have to do the whole thing again. And some fights can take like 10 minutes, so it can be quite dreadful when you're on the last bit, when you're on the last bar of them, and they do like a full out attack. You know, like they launch everything at you, and it's just like a gauntlet of madness.
Mm.
And then you just lose all your health there. It's quite it's quite a kick in the gut, but I like that challenge. Um, the other thing I like about it is, well, it is its difficulty. So when you first play the game, you can either play on the normal difficulty, which is Fury, or a more passive one, which is just so you can enjoy the story and stuff like that, which I always like. Um, but after you beat the game on the normal difficulty, you unlock Furier, which is the harder mode, you know. But
Grr, grr.
thankfully, it's not just as simple as, oh, you take double damage, you have less health, they have more health, you know, stuff like that. The attack patterns are much more difficult, you know, so the actual fights themselves are harder, not just the fact that like, oh, you have less health than before, you know, which is something
Mm.
that like in Hyrule Warriors, that's what they do. So if you choose a harder difficult in Hyrule Warriors, for example, all that really happens is that you take more damage and boss characters take less damage, you know. So
Yeah, yeah.
so for me, it's an artificial difficulty setting because all it's doing is just prolonging the fight. But on Fury, by selecting a different mode, your skills are being tested more. So if you're
Okay.
really good, the fights will probably last the same amount of time, but it'll be more difficult to achieve in the first place. So that's something I could really appreciate about that harder mode. Um, the thing I don't like about it though is like the process between the fights though in the main campaign. So
Yeah.
I like the story itself, but all you do is like walking between each boss fight.
Mm.
So literally that's what you do. You just walk. It's not a cutscene or anything. You just walk, and I just feel it wastes quite a bit
Just
of time.
walk and walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I guess makes sense because you know there is like a lot of story, and I like how the guide character sort of talks you up to get you prepared for the fight. It's quite a good feeling to get you pumped. But it could just take too long. And like you could diverge off the path as well, but there's nothing to explore, so it just feels a bit useless, really.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a pointless, not doesn't need to be there kind of thing,
yeah.
and just yeah, I'm with you.
Or if you're gonna make me walk, just make me walk along that path and don't
Walk somewhere
diverge.
interesting. Yeah.
Mm. Like the locales are interesting, I guess, interesting enough. But you could just walk off into another like big open space with nothing to actually see, so you're just wasting time.
Mm.
It's just like I guess I could appreciate the effort, but you know, I don't really get the point. Um,
Yeah.
so let's see. See that's Fury. Definitely pick it up if you're interested in the challenge. Um, it's like 18 quid, 17 and 18 quid. So I maybe, but it only go for it if you're really itching for like a good boss fight game. You know, if you're really itching to just fight some really well-designed bosses, then yeah, go for
Or,
Fury.
or,
But if you're
or you
looking
could,
for, but if you're looking for
could
something else, then yeah, it may not be
if
for you.
if you're after a boss rush game, there's Freedom Planet that's been released on the
That's
Switch
not a boss
eShop.
rush game though.
It's got lots of good bosses in it though.
It's
So
got bosses, but it's not a boss rush game. You know, it's not
I think
comprised entirely
I,
of bosses.
I think there is a boss rush mode
There could
near
be a
the
mode,
end.
but that's not the game in general.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
main game in general actually sucks. No. Um, you know what? Yeah, I do
Wow.
actually need to play. No, I do need to play Freedom Planet again. I just can't be asked because I wasn't really too keen on it the first time, to be honest. If I'm being honest, it
Mm.
was just okay. Sonic Mania's better.
True.
I'm saying that.
True.
Um, moving on. I finally got Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix for the PS4.
Have you ever played them before?
No, I've only played the one on
Oh,
3DS, Dream Drop Distance.
that's just ignore that. Ignore that. Just go
It
play
was
those two games.
alright. I did find
That's
it
all that
fun.
matters.
Um,
Dream Drop Distance is like missing most of the content of any Kingdom Hearts game. Is the problem?
nah, I liked it though. I did like when I used to play it. So I might play it again if I get the 2.8 game.
Yeah, isn't
Uh,
it in as an extra in one of those games?
yeah, it's like the main remix in
Yeah,
2.8.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Finally in the HD. Um,
If you can understand the full story of Kingdom Hearts, you're a better man than me because I did not understand any of it. It goes right over my head.
oh yeah, I think that's the case for everybody really though.
I think the bad guys come back like 8, 9 times in it now, or something stupid like that. So
It's so the one I've been playing is Kingdom Hearts, and I think I'm like right at the end. So I'm at the well, I guess I shouldn't dwell on it too long because Kingdom Hearts I feel like everybody knows, you know. Um, it's just a bit funny, you know, just the whole concept. Like you got all these like anime people being all serious and stuff about the darkness, and you got like fucking Goofy and Donald just chilling. You
yeah,
know,
it is
it's
kind of
just
weird.
it's weird, but like that's just the kind of thing I just love. I don't know why. It's just something absolutely stupid that I do like. But yeah, you know, I have had fun with it. I think I've put in 16 hours, and I think I'm at the end. It feels like the final area at
Did you
least.
say 16 or 60?
16, 1-6.
No, you're nowhere near the end.
What? Oh Christ! I feel like I'm right near that because I'm like I'm after the um Peter Pan world, Neverland with the pirate ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I went through I feel like I must be
Mount
close.
Bastion? Something like that?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. That is like the one of the end areas, but
One
you've
of.
got to like come back to there a few times. So I don't know how far you've got into. I don't want to spoil
Maybe.
it for you, man.
Yeah,
I'm basically trying to.
I just arrived. But yeah, the story itself is a bit like hit and miss, you know.
The story's all over
Um,
the place. It's
yeah.
complete mess.
Well,
Absolute
one
mess.
to be fair, in one it's quite simple to be fair,
Hmm.
you know. I just
It
fear
gets
for like
worse
it
after
keeps,
that, I must
yeah.
admit. But yeah, it is just enjoy the game. It's just, the story is just a bit
Oh yeah,
weird and
like
doesn't quite work. But
I am enjoying it to be honest. I don't think if it was just Kingdom Hearts, I think it is still quite a cool game, but I wouldn't really put it like in my top 10. Maybe not even like top 20 or top 30.
I would put Kingdom Hearts 2 in a top 10. I
Right.
wouldn't put Kingdom Hearts 1 in
Yeah.
a top 10.
I feel like with Kingdom Hearts 1 it's good. And understandably it's the first game in the series.
Mm.
Um, but it's just like some of the combat can be like a bit, you know, annoying because when I'm trying to do magic I have to do like go into this command whilst having to deal with like the on-screen tension.
Yeah,
You know,
there are shortcuts.
yeah, there are shortcuts, but you only get three.
Yeah.
which is really annoying.
You can definitely see where it's aged there in terms of like controls wise, but it's like having the abilities as well. That like having certain abilities like are better at certain sections of different parts of the game, but it's never really explained fully. I think the abilities section, because as you level up, you get more abilities as you go, and for both yourself, Goofy, and Donald, and it just don't really explain that very well. All the whole system of that.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very underneath the sort of surface of the actual mechanics.
I think, like I am enjoying it. It is fun, you know. Just the main
don't get me
combat
wrong,
is enjoyable.
It's a great game. It is a great game, but the sequel is a lot better.
I just feel like a lot of the bosses can be a bit BS. Like the first one in in the Wonderland world.
Yep.
So, oh my god, who put that in the game? Because the only bit, so basically it's just this really tall guy.
Yeah.
And his weak spot is really high up.
Yeah.
So the only way you could get up is by going on the table and then jumping, and then even then you could only get a couple of hits in.
And then the table disappears, I think, something like that. And then
he just smashes out. Yeah. He just smashes down the table, and it's like, okay, cheers. And then you get fireballs, and then he hits like a lot of fireballs at you, and they take a lot of damage. It's just
the whole Wonderland section is quite flawed because you've got to go find the 5 boxes of evidence to save Alice. I'm trying to do this without spoiling it for anyone else who hasn't played it, but it's quite difficult because it's like such an old game now. But basically, you find all those, and then you only choose one of the 5 boxes afterwards, and it's like it's completely random what ones you choose, and like it's like depending on the one you got a 2 in 5 chance of getting a good result basically. So you're always against yourself on that, and it unlocks a special thing by doing that. I think there's extra ability for Sora, so it's like you've got a 2 in 5 chance of getting that, and it's so ridiculous. Like if you don't get all the boxes,
I don't know
really
if I got that or not. Yeah,
it's unlikely.
It's kind of a bad world altogether, to be honest.
What other boss battles in that game do you remember so far which you've enjoyed? Is there any others?
Enjoyed?
Just quote me if I'm wrong. Is the Little Mermaid in the second one or the first one? I can't remember. Or in both?
I think she's in both. Yeah, that world kind of sucked.
I remember there being a very good boss battle in that section, but I can't remember.
I just didn't like swimming. That's all it was.
No. Maybe you haven't got there yet then. There's a lot returning to worlds in Kingdom Hearts as well. So you might have. I believe in first and second. Like there's lots of you unlock something in one world, it unlocks something else in the next one.
Right.
So you've got to go back to do different episodes, kind of thing, on different worlds. And like on that Little Mermaid, there is a very good boss fight near the end, and I don't want to spoil it if you've not done it, so I'm going to try and leave it with you so we can talk about it next episode, maybe. So, yeah. I'm glad you picked it up, though. It's a really good game.
Oh, yeah. I am glad because I am generally interested in Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't want to go into that without knowing anything else of anything else.
It makes sense. It definitely makes sense doing that.
Because it's like it's like set up to be the finale. I don't want to be watching the finale and then like doing everything else.
And from buying the 2 collections there, it means you don't have to go back and collect the Game Boy Advance game, the DS games, the 3DS game to get the full story. And it's just like it's so weird that they did that.
So I guess that's it. Another hour section. Just a typical day for us.
We just talk so much because we like talking about games and really random old games.
Well, it's been a while. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's good to catch up, dude. I've enjoyed it.
Like, that was all we played in like the last like month and a half. So of course there's like a lot to cover. But yeah, that would do it for us. So let's head into our final section. So this is the final section of the podcast, shoutout sections and the like. I don't believe we have any users' questions, which nothing new there.
You had some last
We
episode.
did, but mainly because we got a really cool guy on, like a really famous guest on, compared to us, which we admittedly don't really have a lot
I'm
of.
famous.
We kind of are.
I'm famous in Southampton.
In
So,
Southampton, yeah.
yeah.
If only, if only.
Yeah, yeah. One day, Matt. One day,
One
we'll take over the
day.
world. Pinky and the Matt.
No. um. Okay. So, shoutouts. As you went first in the last section, I'll go first this time.
You may go first in this section.
Very exciting stuff to me. I'm gonna be. I want to try and sound not too arrogant, although I hope I don't normally. But I finally got an article featured in Switch Player, which we've shouted out before in episodes past. If you're in the general Nintendo fan community, especially in the UK, you've likely heard of Switch Play before. They are fan-made and fan-funded magazine dedicated to the Nintendo Switch, covering all sorts. They pretty much cover every Nintendo game out there. Basically, it's
What?
if you like official Nintendo magazine, when that was still alive, you'd probably like this. It's pretty much a mini version of that, entirely about the Switch. It's pretty neat. Um, yeah. So it's full of reviews, features, and stuff. Very nice. Um, but for me, it's the first time I've got an article featured in a magazine at all. Um,
Nice.
so even if it's not on
Hooray.
like something you'd see um, generally, um, like on the shops or something like what O&M used to do, it's still nice to have like my name and words in a print material. Um, the article itself is the top 5 things I want to see in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate to make it the ultimate game. Um, yeah, and it's just really nicely. I don't know who did the design specifically, but it looks really snazzy. Definitely check that out. But there's also two other Smash features as well. One covering the direct, and another talking about competitive Smash Brothers. All very lovely stuff. Um, yeah. I'm just really happy with it. It's it's really cool. Lovely. They always do fan-made art covers as well. This is nothing like official pictures on the front page. It's all fan art on the front page. Really cool. I love that aspect of the magazine. Um,
Yay.
yeah. So yeah, thanks to the team and Paul Murphy, who's the editor-in-chief of the magazine, for allowing me to come on. And hopefully I can write again sometime in the future. That's really all I have for my shout out, to be honest. Jack, who is your shout out for?
So first I'll do like the personal shout outs. So you guys may not know by now, I'm basically within the Hampshire Gaming Hub team in Hampshire. We're running the Southampton Game Fest for the 4th year running in Southampton. If you are local or nearby to Southampton, even if you're really far away and want to come visit us, you're more than welcome to. Um, Basically, it's a massive gaming event. We've got a few tournaments ready to be launched, and some have already been announced. We're going to be running like a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tournament there, so looking forward to doing that. I'm hoping to get basically a setup for the end of the day where we have 2 teams of like the whole room of people playing some WarioWare. Game and Wario on
Oh,
Wii U and also some Mario Party on Switch because it should be released the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully there's not too much to unlock on that game. Otherwise, we might not unlock it all. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We've got about 20 exhibitors confirmed already from different indie games, from different communities, artists, and all sorts of other people, and cosplay and stuff like that. Tickets are available on southamptongamefest.com with all the details of all the exhibitors and all the competitions which are going to be available. And tickets are only £8 per adult ticket, and you get one free child under 10 with that ticket as well. So if you want to come with your child, feel free to bring them along for free with adult paying ticket. Yep, so if you can check that out, and any retweets on the page and follow the pages on Facebook and Twitter, I would really appreciate it if you guys could do that for me. I'm still trying to spread the word. We're trying to sell as many tickets as we can. The more tickets we sell, the more indie games and more tournaments we can put on, and more money we can give to charity as well. So that's the main aim for me, is to get as much money to charity as we can by the end of the event. So thank you very much everyone who's already supported that already, and it's been fantastic. The feedback we got for it's great so far, so really looking forward to it. Big shout out to Gary from Nintendo Village for coming to Insomnia with me for all day Saturday. I had a really good day, really good fun. We talked lots about Nintendo games and podcasts and editing and recording videos and things like that. So it was a really interesting conversation I had with Gary for most of the day. He is a really nice guy, and you can listen to him now on Nintendo Dads. He's one of the regulars on there, so he'll be talking about Insomnia, all about Insomnia there, I'm sure. But also go check out the Nintendo Village, which has been so underappreciated at the moment. It's unbelievable. Their website is fantastic. There's lots of great articles and reviews and other things about games on there. They talk lots about like future Nintendo Directs and things like that as well. There's regular different shows that they're putting on. There's about 5 or 6 different shows which are regularly happening now. I've been interested the last couple of weeks in watching their stream for the NES games. Basically, they're playing every single NES game ever created and rating every single one,
Jeez.
Which is quite intense. They're doing about 10 to 20 every episode. They're up to episode 3 now, so they've played a good 40, 50 games or so already. But the next episode will be playing Alfred Chicken. Now, I don't know if you've ever played Alfred Chicken. It's probably way.
So?
I don't think so. It was originally a NES game, but it also got a Game Boy port as well.
Okay.
And the Game Boy game I had of that game was one of my favorite Game Boy games ever. It was so ridiculously stupid, but you're basically a chicken, and you go around and you've got to try and save loads of your chicken brethren from getting killed by machines and stuff. It's really stupid, but it's worth a look, and that'll be on the next episode of their channel, so that'd be good fun to watch. But yeah, thanks to everyone there. Check out Nintendo Village on Twitter, Facebook, and on their website and YouTube as well. Cool. I think we're all done, Matt. I think we're all done.
Okay. That's pretty much, we're almost wrapped up here for this episode. You can find the podcast on for social media. You can find it on Twitter and Facebook. You just search for N Podcast System and this should come up. Twitter is kind of dead. I need to try and be more active on it more often. So yeah. Yes, definitely tune into that to see when episodes go live and stuff. Although if you've already gone this far in this episode, you should already know this episode is live. As for where you can find the show itself online, you can find it on YouTube, Podcasts, Podomatic, iTunes Podcasts, and Spotify. Quite a lot of places, as Jack said earlier in the episode. We may be deleting older episodes, but to be fair, that may be for the best, because given the quality of those, they may be quite shy.
You can still find them all on YouTube if you wish. But,
yeah, they will always be on YouTube.
If you want to embarrass us.
If you want to dig through the history, then yeah, it will always be there. But not.
It's also available on Google Podcasts on Android if you're on Android, so you can download it on there as well.
don't have the link for that though. So it's hard to like add into the description.
It is difficult, but if you search on for Google Podcasts on any Android device, if you find out the app on there and just search for Nintendo Podcast System or Nintendo Podcasts, I believe we still come up on the list there. So worth a look on there.
Okay.
Thank you very much for listening through there. If you are listening right now, hi everyone on Google Podcasts. I'm waiting.
What else? What else do we have to mention?
I think we've covered that all. Where can we find you on the social medias, Matthew?
Where can you find me? I'm on Twitter at acegibbo, ACEGIBBO. There we go. Keep up there for opinions on gaming and whatnot.
Are you writing any more articles or for future
hopefully
stuff?
I have submitted something for the Nintendo Village, so hopefully that gets sorted sometime in the future.
Excellent.
Not Nintendo Village, Nintendo Village. There we go. So where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Gawny GAWNY 7789. I'm also available on Facebook at the same tag, and also on YouTube, where I've released 2 videos from the start and the end of Insomnia, and also released a episode of Final Fantasy VII, which I left for 11 months and come back to. So
11 months.
11 months. I had a massive issue. Basically, whenever there's a cutscene in the game, it seems to stop the audio in the game.
Oh.
And then it replays like 20 seconds later. So that has been an absolute nightmare trying to edit. So, as you can appreciate, I still had some issues halfway through that video, and it was really annoying. But then I just completely removed the audio, had to replace my own audio into it, and then had even more issues. So I would appreciate if everyone would just check that video out, just because it was really funny how bad it was, and you can laugh at me and tell me I'm rubbish at editing videos. So yeah, cool. There will be some more coming very soon, and I've done a whole block of episodes to upload, so hopefully they should be up within the next week or so. I'm also going back to games like Undertale, going back to Sonic Mania and Freedom Planet in the next 3-4 weeks. So hopefully we'll have lots more content to come on youtube.com/Corny7789.
Okay. And hopefully there'll be a Nintendo Direct in the coming weeks to get
so we have some content to talk about on the podcast.
Like we don't have enough already.
Oh yeah.
In the case actually, maybe you'll be seeing something like that soon after. Hold on, let me check when it was last year. Because if so, we may be getting it within a week, maybe, if we're lucky.
If we're lucky.
I think we are getting a General Direct in September, if I haven't said that already. Let's see. So, yeah, we've already had 4 this month alone, which is madness. So we got the Smash Bros. Direct, and we got 2 indie highlights, and then we got a Dragalia Lost Direct. Nuts. That is pretty nutty for 1 month.
It's pretty nutty.
Before then, we've
like squirrel poo. Like squirrel poo.
Lovely, charming.
It's pretty nutty.
Let's see. So, yeah. So in September last year was September 13th. So I think we could be seeing something within the next 2 weeks. Because the year before that, the September Direct was the first. The 1st of September actually, 2016. So I think we will be getting something. In the next month. I think we have to be getting a General Direct in the next month. Because they say more is coming for the fall. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Anyway,
cool.
So stay tuned for that. We may be doing a special episode because you definitely need to cut down on episode size to make it more consumable. Okay, so let's wrap it up. That is it for episode 56. Jack, what is playing us out?
Well, it's Monster Hunter Generations End quest music because we've ended the quests. So, yeah.
And you'll be hearing that right now. So thank you so much for listening to Nintendo Pocket System episode 56. We hope you all enjoyed and happy gaming.
Happy gaming. I'm going to go collect all my items now. Monster Hunter. Yay.